What's going on, everybody? John on here with you. It's time for Game 4. We're about 4 or 5 minutes away from puck drop. So I'll give you the starting lineups and let you know what's been going on in this series. I'm just trying to get some reps where I can before with the weekend with the Waterford Sharks and the MIHL. So let's get this solo assignment done tonight. So for Peter DeBoer's squad and the Dallas Stars, it's Roope, Hintz, Jason Robertson, Joe Pavelski with Ryan Suter, Miro, Heiskanen, Max Domi, Mason Marshman, Teller, Seguin with Thomas Harley, and Joel Hanley. Wyatt, Johnston, Jamie Benn, Evgeny Dadonov, Roddick, Hakstol, Yoki Rivanta, and Luke Glendening. It says Lindell and Colin Miller with Jake Ottinger. We know about the numbers with Jake Ottinger, what happened in the last game. But he's 19-1-2 when coming off of a loss. So he's trying to get his team back to a 2-2 series tie. And for the Seattle Kraken, it sounds like this. Matty Beniers, Ty Cartier, Jordan Eberle, Vince Dunn, and Adam Larsson. Alex Wemberg, Jaden Schwartz, Morgan Geeky with Jimmy Alexiak and Walt Borgen, Yanni, Gourde, Ellie Tolvin, and Oliver Bjorkstrand, Ryan Donato, Brendan Tanev, and Jared McCann is going to be in the lineup for the Seattle Kraken, the return of the 40-goal scorer, who hasn't played in several weeks since the hit from Kale McCarr, but they dispatched the Colorado Avalanche and returned the 40-goal scorer, but we don't know how many minutes he's going to play tonight. Carson Soucy and Justin Schultz will run up the back-end defense, and Philip Grubauer will be in net. So for this series, let's just get into it really quickly as we're waiting for the puck drop, about 2.5 minutes away from it. So Seattle won Game 1 in overtime. 6 goals were scored in the first period. Pavelski with a goal off a wrist shot. All the other 3 were deflected. Seattle took a 4-2 lead with 3 goals in the span of 14:20 to 15:20 in less than a minute. After no goals in the second period, Pavelski tied the game at 4, and we went to OT. He had a couple deflections. Yanni Gourde got a chance with 12-17 in the overtime, and Seattle took a 1-0 series lead. Both goalies had an .886 save percentage. Grubauer stopped 31-35. Ottinger saved 39-44. In Game 2, it was all Dallas, and we covered that one. It was a 4-2 victory. And after nothing in the first period, Wyatt, Johnston, Evgeny Dadonov, and Joe Pavelski, Ty Cartier, and Jordan Eberle in the third. Heiskanen had a stick break. Dallas looked dominant, and we wondered if that was the trend. Jake Ottinger took the win with 25 saves. Phil Grubauer took the loss with 33. But as Cooper Hopkins said when he joined me in Game 3, Seattle loves to buck trends, and they did that big time. 7-2 victory in Game 3. Of note, it was important to note that it was 0-0 after the first period, but 12 different Kraken players secured at least a point. It's what they do. Seattle then lands 5 in the second period and secured a dominating victory. And then Miro Heiskanen went out after taking a puck to the face. We didn't know what was going to happen for the Stars. Sprong also exited for the Kraken. Didn't know Daniel Sprong. So heading into Game 4 with the series 2-1 and another game of Climate Pledge Arena, Seattle looks to take a commanding 3-1 lead. Dallas tries to tie this at 2 games apiece. Heiskanen was a game-time decision. He's going to draw in the lineup with the full cage mask. Daniel Sprong will remain out. And we thought that Jesper Froden might come in for Daniel Sprong. But Jared McCann, of note, in Game 3, he was in the skate-arounds in a non-contact jersey. He's going to play in Game 4. So he's going to play tonight. We don't know how many minutes in the power play and the penalty kill. Again, it's been about 2.5 weeks. Got to get your legs back underneath him. But he's going to be here. So it's a return of a 40-goal scorer for Seattle. That can make things dangerous. And God forbid, as long as he doesn't take any other hits like that, you think as the series goes along, or if Seattle should advance against Dallas, maybe play against Edmonton or Vegas, that Jared McCann can continue to move his way up the lineup. Maybe that bumps Ty Cartier, but Ty Cartier has been very good, the 22-year-old, alongside the 20-year-old Matty Beniers and Jordan Eberle. So we are going to get underneath the starting goalies. We have the national anthems all done here. We're at Climate Pledge Arena. John under with you, likely here for a solo call. Most goals at 5v5 this postseason. Seattle Kraken with 25. The other expansion team, Golden Knights, 25. Hurricanes, 25. Panthers, 23. So the teams that are living right now and all have series edge are leading in even strength goals. I don't think that's any sort of coincidence. As we take a look at Peter DeBoer and we take a look at Dave Hakstol, Philip Grubauer, Skating in around his net now. Playoff Grubauer is a real thing, and he's been excellent in this postseason. Jake Ottinger, on the other end, we know about his numbers, 19-1-2 off of a loss. Dallas needs all of that right now. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens underneath the puck drop. It's the first line for Dallas outside of the third line for Seattle as we get underway. Clint Pledge, John here with you on the solo call. As it's Ty Cartier, Matty Beniers, and Jordan Eberle on the first line side. And a chance immediately by Joe Pavelski. This goes off the left pad of Philip Grubauer. As Dallas keeps it in, Ryan Suter, but this gets deflected away from Joe Pavelski. And now Roope Hintz taken away from the puck. And Seattle now going to try to take this right to left in this first period. As Ty Cartier tries to finish a hit on Miro Heiskanen. It's of note that Heiskanen is out there after taking a puck to the face in Game 3. He's got the full mask. And now this gets taken away off the drag from Robertson and sent back around by Vince Dunn. Vince Dunn now will settle this back down here for Will Borgen as he will take his time. The forwards will quickly take their change. Puck flips over the stick of Vince Dunn, but this still gets across the neutral zone now and sent down the ice. Lindell will take a look at it. Here's a 50-foot stretch pass as Evgeny Dadonov will try to play this forward, but Eberle will find it. He'll throw this back to the defense now with Adam Larsson off of a chest pass, and this will go back here for Lindell. And across the red line now, Dadonov send this back around as it's picked up by Philip Grubauer. And now in toward the right side of the red line as he's sprout off the backhand and set up a couple of times as this is picked up by Dallas. Let me shut this window really quick. I apologize. So Marchment Domi right on the doorstep, and Grubauer makes a couple saves with the help of Seguin trying to provide that for Dallas as well. As this is picked up now. Spun around the boards here. Cartier tried to get to it. You see Jared McCann for the first time. Here comes a slap shot, and this goes wide off the right side of the wall. Will Borgen try to send this back around now with Alex Wenberg as he's getting bodied off the puck. It's Morgan Geekie, but this is passed away from him. And now the flip pass will be picked up by Borgen now. Here comes a stretch pass, and it's a good one on the other side. Morgan Geekie canceled off the right side of the wall. Heiskanen delivered a big hit, and this is Jared McCann as this goes D to D again. McCann will get it. Here's a slap shot. Big save by Jake Ottinger with the left pad. And Turbo tries to get to it now as there was utter elation when Jared McCann let go of that shot. They know what the 40-goal scorer can bring as McCann. We'll send this back now here for Larsson. Again, it's just good to see Jared back on the ice again, the former Pittsburgh Penguin. He was picked up in the entry draft, I think, from the Toronto Maple Leafs on that side. They knew what was going to happen. Larsson gave this in across the red line now. 16:55 left to go in the first as this is recollected by Dallas. This is not kept in. This will be a chase for the puck right now. Robo can't get to it, but this will fall back to Will Borgen. And his outstretched pass will get picked off by Hintz. And now recollected again. Roope is back in his own end. He's going to settle it back down for his defense with Heiskanen and Suter. That's the first line from last year's side. And that's what Peter DeBoer is going back in to try to get this back to a 2-2. And Ole Tolvanen, we'll take a look at it as Yanni Gourde delivers a hit. Oliver Bjorkstrand now off the backhand, trying to get this back to the D, but a good pass by getting the Dadonov. Here's a breakout here for Dallas, but the long shot in goes up the left pad of Grubauer. And picked up now by Carson Soucy and Justin Schultz. So Schultz from Bjorkstrand will send this now across the right side red line for Cartier. And now Colin Miller, as Cartier finishes another check. He's already had 3 of them so far. We're at 16 minutes in the first. Joining me with you on the solo call here for Clint Pledge Arena. There's Jimmy Benn with a cross-ice pass. There's a long chance. This goes off the blocker of Grubauer. And now picked up off the backhand. Sent back around for Suter. This one gets blocked. Eberle was the lone one on the chase. He can't get the puck, but it's sent down deep there for Jake Ottinger, and he's got to be quick about this in behind his net. I'll just get him behind the trapezoid and make a play as it's picked up across the red line now. Dadonov off the spin. Can this be kept in across the blue line? No, it can. A couple of spinning stars. One of them is down and hurt, and nothing called right now, but the whistle is stopped. And we will see if this will go against Mason Marchment. I want to know if he sold it really well or if he actually got hit up in the face. That's the question. Marchment is known to do that. We're going to take a look at this right now. It's an elbow. So it was a little bit of friendly fire. Miro Heiskanen pushed Alex Wenberg into Mason Marchment's left side of the cheek, and he got an elbow right in the mouth. So, again, that's a tough luck penalty there on Alex Wenberg, if that's what they're going to call. If not, then it should be the same thing because, Heiskanen kind of pushed him into it, to be honest. So they're showing a couple of the cross passes here. And Jared McCann, again, just good to see him back on the ice. It was a shot low. And it doesn't surprise me that the first shot there for Dallas was going to go all five-fold because it was 4 of those goals that were allowed up by Jake Ottinger in Game 3. So Seattle went right into the scouting report that they saw, or whether or not it's actually a relative one. They knew the damage that it's been showing right now, and they're going to keep going at it unless it changes. So we're going to take a look at this right now, and I'll pull up the ESPN box just in case we get any penalties or anything else like that. As Dave Hakstol taking a look at it, some of the other referees are taking a look at it. Do we have any glass repairs is the question right now. I think that might be what we're trying to look at. And since we're going to do that, I'm going to take a step out. So it looks like the plug-in next to one of the glass, I'm not sure what that is, maybe part of the video feed that's next up to the cameras, that got smoked, and that's what led to a stoppage right now with 15:24 left to go in the first. It's a 3-1 shot advantage for Dallas. Drawn on here with it, the solo call here for Game 4. Again, if Cooper Hopkins does join in, I know it'd be light notice for him. I just tried to let him know across that we'll get him in there. They're showing Peter DeBoer with his 15th season NHL head coach, first with the Stars, 73-59 record. Jake Ottinger going to be skating post to post. Miro Heiskanen, he is all cut up near the right side of his face when he took that puck. He's got the full cage mask on it right now with that long extended visor just to make sure they don't get up anything back in those wounds and sutures. So whoever wins this game, it's a pivotal one here because Dallas try to get this 2-2. Seattle wins, they can take a 3-1 advantage right now against the Dallas Stars. And if they can do that, you would think the way Seattle plays, it would be tough for Dallas to win 3 straight games. Cooper and I, when we've done these broadcasts, we've talked about how good Dallas is. Again, we saw them a little bit last year with the Calgary Flames when it was a much different team with Tkachuk and Gaudreau. That was a team in Dallas that was much more physical, and they were the only team last year with a negative goal differential. Now everything's kind of been turned around where they can score a ton of goals. They can provide a lot of hope on defense. Again, when you have Jim Nill and you draft Jake Ottinger, Miro Heiskanen, and Jason Robertson from like 4 years ago on that same draft, that's how you make your franchise a hell of a lot better and you make that push. But Seattle, again, they've made the push that I don't think a lot of people expected. I wanted to admit to you when we did the playoff capsules, I didn't see any way that Seattle would go farther than 6 against Colorado Avalanche. But now I wanted to make an addendum on the side because I told you this too. Once they got past the Avalanche, all systems go as far as Seattle and how far they can actually go in the playoffs. Now, there really isn't any other teams that can give you much more of a scare. Dallas can be really good. Vegas can be really good. You're going to be looking at the 2 expansion franchises playing each other in the Western Conference Finals. It could be a Vegas-Seattle final. Who knows? There's a lot left to be decided. The one thing that we do know is a little more definitive after today, and I'll make sure I'll duplicate this window right now as we're in the middle of a commercial break. Carolina Hurricanes are taking a 3-1 advantage over the Devils. Again, Ian and Alec Nava were the ones that covered that one on Twitter Spaces. They're privileged to work with those guys a couple of times. Always very fun to do so. So Kira Schmid, he had to replace Vitek Vanacek. He stopped 11 and 12. Vitek Vanacek got served up again, 12 of 17 and 706 save percentage. And Freddie Anderson, 21 out of 22 for a 955. It was Jack Hughes to open the scoring, and it was 6 straight for Carolina. And it blew it open in the second when they scored 5 goals. So all the repairs are done with the side of the glass and the electronics there. That's what we cut out as far as the play-by-play. We'll bring it back in when it's live. 5:15 or 15:15, I should say. Love to go on the first. Drawn under with it for Game 4. This one's on ESPN Plus and ESPN Plus only. This is set back around for Oliver Bjorkstrand and now Ellie Tolvanen. Tolvanen now with the help of Gourde trying to find this puck as he tries to pick this up near the right side of the red line. Picked up off the back pass. Here comes the bomb. And this one will be blocked off one of the Dallas Stars and recollected in behind the net. Dallas will get this as it bounces a Suter, but he almost lost him between his skates as Tolvanen was providing a lot of leeway there. Now here's Robertson off the drop pass. Suter! This goes off the left blocker. Philip Grubauer. That's another good save there as the shots are now 4-1. This is picked up here for Dallas. Seattle trying to get this out of their own end as this will fall back to Heiskanen now on the full cage. This goes off the blocker again. Another one just off the stick shaft. This is sent out in front, but Dallas able to keep it in. Heiskanen will just chop it deeper as this is for Roope Hintz. Roope Hintz will pick it up off the backhand. Jimmy Alexiak trying to use that big body to push Dallas away and the former teammate Tyler Seguin as this is just slowly taken out of the defensive end for Will Borgen as they'll wrap this around for Jake Ottinger. Ottinger now will take a look at it. Send it back here for Thomas Harley. He'll play a behind the back pass, and this will fall back to Seattle. But this is across the red line where they'll dump it back in, and now Seattle gets the pressure as Jordan Eberle will try to get around Mason Marchment. Again, he got hit by an elbow on the other side from Wenberg, but it was Heiskanen that forced him into it. As this is set up now off the backhand, it's Thomas Harley. He's going to spend time on the second line on defense here, but this is icing as he didn't gain the red line. Peter DeBoer is mixing a couple of those defensive lines today, and we'll see how they do. On the side for Dave Hakstol, they're welcoming in Jared McCann for the first time in about 2.5 weeks since taking that hit from Kel McCarr in about Game 5 of the series. So we will see what happens with Jared McCann. I imagine as long as he can stay healthy and as long as Seattle advances, he's going to steadily move up this lineup. Again, what would that mean for Ty Cartier? I think he's still going to have a spot on this team, no doubt about it. The way that he's playing, he's going to move him a little bit in the line. So it's Jaden Schultz against Tyler Seguin. Tyler Seguin will win it clean as this will go back to Mason Marchment now, part of the second line. Marchment's pass gets deflected by Schultz. And this is sent in by Morgan Geekie in a pink visor. Picked up now by Schultz as he'll try to gain puck possession near the side of the red line. Another good hit by Wenberg as he dislodges the puck. It's Schultz now. Schultz back around for Wenberg. Picked up by Marchment with a glove hand, but this is still near the right side of the faceoff dot. And this is sent in by Harley, but this was a dangerous pass. But it will be picked up by Adam Larsson off the backhand now. Skating across the tentacle S. Seattle will lose it, Morgan Geekie, but Morgan Geekie delivers a shoulder and that's to Lindell. And now it's 1-on-3. Alex Wenberg, Roddick Fox is trying to hold that line with the help of Colin Miller to deliver the hit. And now the pass will go back to Miller. Miller will pick it up off the stick blade, and this is an offsides. 12:39 left to go in the first. We are scoreless between Dallas and Seattle. And if that sounds familiar to you, everybody on that side, that's what's happening a lot in this series right now. If there are no goals in the first, it's kind of a feeling out process. And in Seattle, with that quick explosion, again, I can't do the finger snap. Cooper Hopkins was in, and you could do that for me on that side with the finger snap. But it can be a 3, 4, even 5 goal explosion for Seattle at times. And it only takes a couple of minutes for this game to turn right around. But we're still scoreless now with 12:25 left to go in this first. As this is picked up off of a long flip. And now McCann will send this back around here for Jake Ottinger. Take a look at it as Ottinger off a long pass. And now this will be a race for the puck. The hybrid icing is going to get picked up by Seattle. So Dallas can't change any offensive personnel with 12:14 left to go in the first. So tomorrow, if I am available, I think I'm going to have to spend some time with the fiance, but we'll try to cover the Maple Leafs and the Panthers because I want to see if the Panthers can get a sweep against Toronto on that side. It's unbelievable. And then 10 is the late game in between the Oilers and the Golden Knights. It's Eastern time. So the Kraken now and toward the high slot now toward the right side of the blue one. This will send this back around for Oliver Bjorkstrand and Yanni Gourde. As this goes up the right pad of Jake Ottinger. Picked up now by Seattle with Ellie Tolvanen. It's Bjorkstrand. Wraps this around the kick plate. Now it goes to Yanni. And the high slide. Here's a slap shot as this one gets blocked. Picked up now by the defense as it's now Yanni Gourde. Yanni Gourde faked the slap shot. Good save. We have an overhead goalie cam right now, but Jake Ottinger brushes it with the left pad. He already looks a lot sharper here. As somebody doesn't have a goal stick, it is a chance for Bjorkstrand to go back and pick up his twig as Seattle gets knocked down right at the line. And we're still alive right now as this will go back in the defensive zone. Picked up now by Yanni Gourde. Yanni Gourde will send it back to his defense as this is flipped in by Will Borgen. And it's a rattling puck in behind Philip Grubauer, but no Dallas Star was there. Matty Beniers tried to catch Eberle, but Eberle jumped too quickly. 11:14 left to go in the first. It's a 5-3 shot advantage still for Dallas, and we're scoreless as they showed Seattle's couple of chances here on the ESPN feed. That's all we got tonight, no Sportsnet. As it's picked up off the right pad, and then a slapper there by Yanni Gourde. That was a fake slap there for Larsson. Got him right on the dot as you move your defenseman and your forward, and they switch paces. And on that side of it, Seattle can do a lot of that, and they're showing Jake Ottinger again, 21-3 following a loss, including the playoffs. Jake Ottinger absolutely closes things down. We're not used to seeing him give up 5 goals, but we know exactly what Ottinger can bring. He's been completely unbothered ever since he entered the NHL to go up against opposing offenses. He's been that good. I mean, there really is no doubt about it. He's a franchise goaltender. As we get a stoppage with 10:57. Are we going to get a commercial break is the question. Jake Ottinger going to skate back into his goal crease, and somebody's going to go to the box for slashing, and we will see what that is going to be on. It's going to go against Jordan Eberle. So Jordan Eberle will be the first to take a slashing minor, and this will put Dallas in on the power play. And yeah, he got it right up in the hands of one of the Dallas Stars there. No problem. That was an easy call. So Jordan Eberle at the 10:57 mark in the first will be sent to the box for slashing. So Dallas will get their first power play. It's Pavelski now. He wins the draw there for Roope Hintz. Roope Hintz will set it up for Heiskanen now. Robertson. Heiskanen in the high slot will give it back to Robo. Robo will stick drag. As this goes back to Heiskanen in that same spot, it gets blocked, centered out in front by Pavelski off of the rebound attempt, and it will be kept in by Heiskanen, bounced off Turbo. Now Roope Hintz, there for Heiskanen. Now Robertson in the high circles. As he's picking up now into the left side dot, Robertson will play it around here for Hintz. Hintz back around the inboards here for the captaincy and Jimmy Benn. It's Miro Heiskanen now. Into the traffic. It's deflected up in the air off the left pad, saved by Grubauer as Jason Robertson tries to stick drag. It's Roope Hintz in behind the cage, trying to center it out in front. This will bounce back to him. Now it's Robo as he gets it back to Roope Hintz. And this is not held and across the blue line. And Benn and Pavelski run into each other and across the red line now. But it's Jamie Benn trying to pick this up off the backhand. Plays it to an empty side of the wall. Getting to Donov. The Donov with Heiskanen. They'll play catch. It's Evgeny now as they'll send this into the right side line. Jimmy Benn's still out there with the Donov. The Donov now near the right circle. Now he's on his forehand as he drops it here for Heiskanen. Here comes a shot at the traffic. This is saved by Grubauer and played wide toward the high slot. It's Heiskanen now trying to look for a pass. And a good interception there by Yanni Gourde. He gets the takeaway. Now he fans out. It's Robertson. Oh, he missed the net. Oh, Yanni Gourde turned it right over in front of the circles to Jason Robertson, who's trying to get his first point in the series, at least get a goal on that side. And that was almost a disaster as this was picked up here for Suter. Now Evgeny Dadonov will send it back here for Suter into the neutral zone. It's Dadonov now and across the red line as he'll gain the entry. Seattle trying to locate this. It's Suter now with Wyatt Johnston. Now Tyler Seguin near the right side of the red line. Tyler Seguin with Max Domi back to Tyler. He'll shoot a short side wrist shot saved by the left blocker of Grubauer. The power play expires. But Dallas had a lot of puck possession. Jamie Alexiak trying to chase after this thing. Looks like he might be running out of gas. Matty Beniers tries to locate it as well. This is near the left side of the red line, and Seattle will survive it. As this is the other way now here for Matty in full flight. It's the entry off the backhand touch pass here for Schultz. Picked up now by Matty. He's got to turn around, centered in the high slot. This goes off the embankment and across the tentacle S, and now picked up in the neutral zone. It's And Matty Beniers now back to Schultz. I'll send this back across here as it's picked up by Schultz. And across the red line now, gain the entry, Colin Miller. Safely across the backhand now for Lindell. That's Lindell. We'll put this right across for Yanni Hakanpää. And toward the right side dot. Now off the toe drag, working in behind the net. Good save by Philip Grubauer in the butterfly hole, not at left post, as Seattle has it in their own end with Justin Schultz. There comes a long outstretched pass. It's Oliver Bjorkstrand as they'll gain the red line. And they'll flip it in to the left side. Donato will try to locate it with the long side of Oliver Bjorkstrand. This is spun back around from Joe Pavelski. And now Roope hits. Robo with a nice little flip pass ahead for Roope. This will be picked up now. Off the corner boards, Joe Pavelski trying to work his way off the forehand, off the pivot. It's Thomas Harley. Fake the slap shot. Harley will get it back from his defensive partner into the traffic. Good save there by Grubauer. It's blocked out in front but picked up by Pavelski. Now it's turned over as Bjorkstrand able to get the steal. And across the red line now it's flipped in. 7:10 left to go in the first. Not a lot of stoppages right now, but the shots are 8-3 in favor of Dallas. It's starting to look a little bit like game two with the chances heavily favoring Dallas. It wasn't a solo call for me when Dallas won a big game. It's been a punch counter punch type of series. As this goes in off the stick, I believe it's going to be iced against Seattle. Tough luck there against Morgan Geekie, but now we will take a break. With 6:57 left in the first, we're still scoreless. Dallas is an 8-3 shot advantage. Come right back. Well, we appreciate the explosions of listeners in here on the YouTube side. Thank you, guys. It's just been a solo call here for me tonight. No Cooper Hopkins on this side, but if we do get him in, we will bring him in. More than happy to do so. As this is picked up now off the backhand, this will be an opportunity for Dallas Stars off the face-off win. Oh, and the second shot goes wide for Seguin. Grubauer made a great save on the first one, then Seguin shot it high. And this goes up into the netting. Seguin was wide open in the middle of the slot after a rebound. And Philip Grubauer with that overhead goalie cam, he denied Seguin right there for a tremendous opportunity. They're showing the Yanni Gourde turnover on that side, and it was Jason Robertson. He ripped it high, and Tyler Seguin, a rolling puck. This actually went off the stomach of Grubauer and up and on a play. Come right back. We're still scoreless. So if you guys have any comments, questions, and concerns, you let me know on this side of what you want to talk about, follow along. When we get into the first intermission, I will give you scoring updates around NBA, NHL, and MLB, and we will get across some notes and maybe give some of my thoughts as well if we have enough time to do so. I'll give you the scoring reset of Carolina, New Jersey. I said that Jack Hughes got the first goal of the game. It's his sixth of playoffs from Timo Meier. He got his first assist at 1:55, and then Marty Natras made it with his third goal at 17:40. A 1-1 game from Jordan Martinook and Jacob Slavin. But then after that, it was 5 straight goals for Carolina in that second period as they completely closed the door. And now New Jersey is down 3-1 in the series. So it's not the 2-0 swing that New Jersey was hoping for, like against the Rangers, because Natras got his fourth from Pesce and Stahl. Then Pesce scored from Jack Drury and Jordan Stahl. Jordan Stahl got back-to-back secondary assists. Jesper Foss from Jalen Chatfield. Brent Burns from Jesperi Kotkaniemi and Jordan Martinook. And then Martinook from Burns at 19:36 made it 6-1. There were no goals in the third. Freddie Anderson was terrific, 21 out of 22. Vitek Vanacek, not very good in this one, 12-17, gave up 5. Akira Schmid stopped 11-12 in relief.
Take a cut like that, no question whether he's going to play tonight out here doing what he does. He's all world.
So ESPN tonight, that's the only feed alongside ESPN Plus. John out here with you on the solo call here for Game 4. It's the Dallas Stars and the Seattle Kraken. 6:48 left to go in this scoreless first as they keep tying in Miro, Heiskanen. They're showing him in that full cage mask. They want to make sure he doesn't take any blows in that suture near the right side of the nose and the cheek. Dallas allowed 7 goals and gave their most in a playoff game since 2000, May 30th, 2000. In Seattle, it was the 4-line attack as 13 different players recorded a point, but what else is new? 20 shot attempts to 7. That's something I will note in the game story following this when it's all said and done. I'll be with you here whenever this game ends. As this is sent back across now here for a back pass now for Bjorkstrand. Now Wenberg will pick it up. This will go D to D here for Larsson. Larsson at the traffic. He shoots it way wide, but this will work around for Jaden Schultz. It's Morgan Geekie. He gets taken away from the puck. Jaden Schultz tries to join in on the party now to pry it loose, but Miro Heiskanen has other ideas. As Larsson sends this back around, Geekie's by himself near the left side of the red line. He tried to find a pass in the middle of the slot, but this gets turned over. Picked up now by Seattle and a short side chance by Schultz. He's going to let it go, and Ottinger will close the 5-hole down and make the save. 5:54 left to go in the first. It's of note when I mention those two words with the hyphenate across because Ottinger gave up 5 of those in game 3. You got to make sure that doesn't open like the Red Sea as he did. He just didn't look right on that side. And I don't think it is happenstance, as we talked about from that side. Now, right when Miro Heiskanen went down, the floodgates opened up for Seattle. And you got to think all the players on Dallas were feeling the effects. So Jared McCann's back out there right now. This is his first game about 2.5 weeks since taking a hit from a car. But it was Colorado that got eliminated by Seattle in 7 games. As this is picked up now by Dallas. Donato can't find it. As Radek Faksa just trying to pin himself to the right side boards. And this is a good stick check the other way. But it's going to be 1-on-3. As Turbo tries to make a couple moves, trying to pick it up, we'll just send this back around the inboards. And now trying to find one of the Seattle players, but this will go the other way for Luke Glendening. Radek Faksa has it now on the left side of the red line. Again, no tie to Landry. He's dealing with a little bit of a stomach flu on that side. It's Peter DeBoer, so he's on the 4th line right now. As this is sent back around, Faksa will get the steal as Robo tried to find it, but now this will be 2-on-2. And Donato, he gets taken down. It's going to be a hook against the Stars, and Seattle will go to the power play. Lindell going to go right to the box for a hook and hold, and Seattle will get their first power play of the game. Dallas is 0 for 1, although they were dangerous. They have 10 shots on goal, and Seattle's 4, and they have many more shot attempts on that side. But we will see what happens when they come back. A little over 5 minutes left in the first. We're scoreless for the Kraken on the power play.
Yeah, we love our house, but the cost of homeownership has been a struggle. Utility prices rising. Sweetie, you practice that tonight. Anyway, like I was saying, it's getting harder and harder to make ends meet. Hi. You mind? Well, on the bright side, new customers who bundle and save with Progressive save over 20% on average. Sorry, we're ready to practice here on Thursdays. Sounding good, friends?
Wendy's strawberry frosty is back in the summer, so Kyla's been spending a lot of frosty time outside.
Ooh. But,
Go, you know that strawberry.
it'll even out. Choose Bites. Choose wins. Now only.
If you're lucky, you'll go through your entire life with a Reese's Mocha. First, to those who care about you. Those who teach you.
Just typing up some story notes here.
Find Reese's Mocha. Heroes to follow. History to chase. And if you keep looking up long enough, you might look up to the reflection. Looking back again.
I'm going to open this window again because I know it's a little warm in here, but if it gets a little hot, I'll close it. But we should be good on this side.
Chip it off the wall, and that speed that you're playing with, it just forces the opposition defender to make a decision. And Lindell made the wrong decision as he
Like I said, my broadcast partner Cooper Hopkins is not here tonight, but he's the one that got me the Matty Beniers directly from the Seattle Kraken shop. Obviously, I reversed him, of course, but on the other side from Michigan, want to get a chance to have that because you get a chance to get the U of M man, Matty Beniers, with the 2nd overall pick. That it was the first ever one for Seattle, and now they're making this run. So this is a power play opportunity for the Seattle Kraken. Again, they've been decent at this side, but their penalty kill in the postseason has been terrific. They were about 27th out of 32 in the regular season. They are 2nd in penalty kill. The power play is not awful on this side, but it can definitely improve. And getting Jared McCann on there, we will see if that will help. as it's now Olli Tolvanen near the right side of the wall. And this is picked up by Suter, but Tolvanen will get a piece of this with the back end of his skate as the towels are waving now. Schultz able to just hold this in. Olli Tolvanen now off the back pass, and this is a race for the puck now, and this is going to be an opportunity there. Good work by Wenberg to get a chance to get away from Roope Hintz. Roope Hintz could have had a breakaway. I don't know if he just ran out of gas though. Tolvanen now near the right side dot as this one goes back around the inboards now. And this will be Dallas with Radek Faksa on the kill. Faksa able to stay on side. Power move to the net. And his stick gets broken in half. And he draws a penalty. So this is going to be offsetting here for a minute. And then Dallas will get an abbreviated power play. So Radek Faksa, he was working his way right to the net. And he just worked on the backhand full flight. And his stick was broken right in half with a slash. And Seattle, their power play is going to go right by the wayside. Is Jaden Schultz. You got the hook and hold in there and just smash the composite right in half, and he's going to be sent to the box for snapping the twig. So this will be a 4-on-4 for a minute, and then Dallas will go to the power play. So they're going to get Vince Dunn on this one. They're not going to get Schwartz. That was Schwartz's stick, but it's Vince Dunn's stick on that side. So this will be 4-on-4 for a minute. It's going to be an offensive zone draw. This will be won by Seattle and then brushed up the stick of Grubauer. Now they'll try to play this the other way as Turbo will send it back. Now Matty Beniers, as they mix the lines a little bit on this 4-on-4. They'll play this off the backhand as Matty. Good work to get this into the neutral zone now. As this is into the right side dot, Carson Soucy is going to spin. He's stuck near the corner right now. As he plays this back here for Matty Beniers, collected off the forehand, and now on the high slot, it's Larsson. Larsson tried a stick drag. Thought he wanted to shoot it, but he didn't do it. And this goes back to Matty now. Number 10's got it. The University of Michigan man will drop this one back to his defensive partner. And we'll start again for Seattle. It's 4-on-4 for about 15 more seconds before an abbreviated power play. As Brandon Tanev, he might just try to kill the rest of this 4-on-4 and then dump it down. That kind of seems like what Seattle's game planning for. As it's Will Borgen now in full flight. He gets in the offensive end off the drop pass. And now it's Alexiak. We'll send this back around the inboards now. This will be an easy pickup for Roope Hintz. As 50 seconds left to go in the abbreviated power play for Dallas. Roope Hintz right down the middle of the zone. It's Jamie Benn scores! What a ripper for the captaincy! And Dallas strikes first. Jamie Benn, he got a nice setup right down the middle of the ice as Roope Hintz was able to just walk right in. And near the left side dot, Jamie Benn, he got that left-handed shot. We'll take a look at it right now. This is just near the left dot. What a ripper above the crossbar and in. Jamie Benn got absolutely all of that wrist shot. And Dallas has the first goal of the game. That was a nice toe drag and swag there between the legs, I think, of a couple of Seattle players on top of that. And then also Christen above the crossbar, bar down and in. So Jamie Benn gets the first goal of the game, and Dallas is off and running here. That's what John Forsland would say on that side. This is John out here with him, the play-by-play side. Again, I'll never sound as good as he will, as this is flipped back around the inboards, and this is picked up. So the abbreviated power play, that actually works out for Dallas. It's 1-0 here for the Stars. As it's recollected now for Dallas and Ryan Suter. This cross pass, this gets deflected by Oliver Bjorkstrand and intercepted. Now Bjorkstrand in the left side of the faceoff dot trying to work this behind the net for Olli Tolvanen. And gets taken away by Dallas and Benn with the foot pass across the wall. We picked the cross by Yanni Gourde into the neutral zone. And now return pass centered out in front for Bjorkstrand. Goes a little wide. Ottinger, as he saves it with the 5-hole near the right side of his pad. Picked up now by Seattle as they put this back around the inboards. Good pass out in front, and that was missed by Larsson. That would have been a tie game. Either Larsson fanned on it or he just missed the net as Jake Ottinger, I think, has a smile on his face underneath that cage. He knows that he might have gotten away with one there as Larsson, this was Heiskanen picking it up. He gets stick lifted by Olli Tolvanen. Sent back around the inboards now. Yanni Gourde found Larsson, and he tried to go for a right side snipe. He missed it, and then Bjorkstrand frontaled it out back in front, and Ottinger found the hold and then saved. 11 shots to 6 with the shots on goal. Dallas out front with the Jamie Benn finish on the power play. as it's sent back down the ice, but this will go against Dallas, and the personnel can't change with $1:43 left to go in the first. So the shot attempts, again, if we were keeping the unofficial totals on this, I thank you guys for all the likes and following along right now. It's a lot more than I usually get. I appreciate you guys checking in with me. 22nd career playoff goal for Benn, the second of the postseason on that side. And this has been a good start for Dallas. When I had the solo goal in game 2, it was kind of the same way. And the shot attempts, you got to think, are somewhere around, unofficially, again, they don't track the shot attempts side of just the shots on goal, about 35-12 for Dallas. As this is sent up for Jake Ottinger, this goes off his right glove and picked up off the backhand. Seattle trying to find a steal off the return pass. This is sent back around the wall here for Jordan Eberle. Jordan Eberle will stay on his feet, throws it back to the D as Will Borgen picks it up off the skate. I'll fire it into the traffic. It bounces off of Matty Beniers. Now Mason Marchment with Jason Robertson. Beniers trying to locate this. Joe Pavelski gets taken away from the puck by Eberle and now picked up by Lindell. 50 seconds left to go in the first as this is sent back down the ice again and played again against the ice for Dallas. So they can't change. Seattle, again, we talked about it in the face-off circle. They're 31st out of 32 teams on that side. They're absolutely dreadful. That was in the regular season. And when you think about the personnel they're going to face in between Jay Benn, Joe Pavelski, Tyler Seguin, and Luke Glendening, that's 4 guys that can absolutely win you a draw at any time. And what that will mean is no matter where it is, I know some people think it's a disingenuous marker, but it means that one team's going to start with puck possession and one team's not. That's going to help to either break into a zone or break out of a zone, especially in the defensive end. So 48 seconds left to go here in the first round. I'm here with you for Game 4 call of the Western Conference semifinals. Jared McCann draws into the lineup for the first time about 2.5 weeks. Miro Heiskanen was a game-time decision, but he's in the full mask. As it's Colin Miller now, as Dallas wins the draw. It's picked up across the neutral zone, across the red line now for Seattle. And now it's Jaden Schultz. Full delay. Try to get this near the right side of the red line now as it's picked up by McCann. This is a fluttering puck that bounced up near the left side of the crease. And that didn't find pay dirt for Seattle. I'm not sure quite how. I'm also not sure quite how Jared McCann got that one out in front. As it's again to Donov. He's looking for a backhanded feed that goes off the outside of the cage. But on the 15 seconds left to go in the first, it's Suter. Here comes the bomb. It goes near the left side of the wall. Picked up by Seattle now. So flip it in across the red line. It's Ryan Suter. Dallas got one more time here if they can get some puck possession. But nope, they're going to run out of time here. Dallas does enjoy a 1-0 lead, however, after one. Jerry Benn gets a power play goal. Come right back and call the second period in a moment. So I'm just going to type in a couple other notes here, and then we will get into intermission discussion.
Year 10 as the captain took over for Miro against the big time. Well, that's why he's the captain, right? He does a lot of things for Dallas Stars, and sure enough, he's on the board today in a good game. PK and Joey also here are talking first period.
Good morning. I'm Peter Davis. And I'm Pete because before 11 a.m.
So the official shots on goal will be 11-5 for the Stars.
Peter Davis.
The hits are 12-5 for the Kraken. And face-offs, again, this comes as no surprise. It's complete domination for the Stars. They lead the draws 12-4.
You were made to remember some days. We were made to help.
So Vince Dunn gets called for slash at 15:59. As Radek Faksa was making a power move to the net. So Jimmy Benn scores at 17-13 on the power play.
Visit your Verizon store and save big during our spring savings event. Get the Disney bundle with Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus included, all for just $35 a line. The savings you want on a network worth writing about.
So Roope Hintz gets an entry right down the center of the ice. Jimmy Benn with a curl and drag shot near the left circle.
You know what else is crazy? That SMS text you're about to send, it's wide open.
Goes between the legs. The shot does.
Cashback is better. With double cashback, it's even better. Discover matches all the cashback you earn at the end of your first year.
And beats Grubauer. Blocker high. And it was a totally sweet shot. Let's just throw this in there too. Jared McCann
When you watch your kids in a room that's actually connecting, it matters where you stay. Hilton, where to stay.
Hi, I'm Ben Stiller. As an actor, my job is to make people believe what they're seeing is real. Wow, that's like really good. Or am I just acting? Taste it for yourself and find out.
McCann's been pretty good in his return. He got a puck near the left side of the crease and Kraken just missed a scoring chance on that side.
Pretty good engaged star team in the first period. When you think about teams, it's impossible to play at a high level for 2 months in the playoffs. And so you got to be able to bring the structure and execution of some of those teams and composure and experience, because you can't play it. And Dallas team tonight came in with a little more grit in the game, a little more determination, a little more structure than.
So Roope Hintz and Miro Heiskanen got the assists on the Jamie Benn goal. And everybody on the Dallas side, and again, it doesn't come as a surprise, but everybody said they got to get Miro Heiskanen suited up as quickly as possible. So they got him in that full cage mask, and he's been very good on that. So he already has a secondary assist and a 1-0 lead for Dallas as we're going to be heading in the second period. So I gave you the scoring reset on the side for the Seattle Kraken and the Dallas Stars. It's the game we're covering now. And if full coverage will be at hopelesssportsguide.wordpress.com. We went over Carolina and New Jersey. So let's go across on the hardwood side and take a look at the NBA scores and see what happened with that. So Philadelphia, they have a 3-2 series lead on the Boston Celtics as Boston drops another one at TD Garden. Take a look at the leading scorers. Again, I covered, it was a game 2 with Nick Edwards on that side when Joel Embiid was just making his return. And I made the note in the story for a couple things. I said Embiid, there was a pacing issue on that side because it made sense. He's just coming back in there from injury. They probably put him in too soon, but they're trying to also get him ready to go for the rest of the run. You want to get to the Eastern Conference Finals, so you got to be able to do both on that end. So Philadelphia wins with the first game in the majority of their backcourt between Maxey and Harden. And Maxey and Harden combined for 47 as Maxey had 30. Oh, my goodness. But Joel Embiid had 33 points, 10 of 11 from the line as well. So he's really starting to round into form. Philadelphia takes a 3-2 lead. So not everybody agreed with the pacing issue. Again, it was a short recap. There was a lot of other stuff going on that since the story couldn't be as long. What extracurricular that I wasn't too fond of. But I'll tell you this, on the back end of that recap story, I also mentioned this, that Philadelphia, I think, has a better roster than Boston, bar none. If they can keep everybody under check, Boston will look good. If not, I think Philadelphia. Look, Boston and Philadelphia, they know each other quite well on that side of it in the same division. You know they're going to be playing each other. And what do? You want to build up your matchup to play against your opponent and see if you can beat that team. Philadelphia looks good. Harden's playing like his usual self. Again, he was only 4 of 8, but 8 of 10 from the line. Still efficient, 17 points. And Tatum, 11 of 27. They made him a volume shooter, a -26. It was the worst on the team or plus minus, but he had 36 points with 10 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals. Jaylen Brown, again, he's been good per usual, but they just need a little bit more. Even for Brown, he's been efficient all series, though. 9 for 16, 3 of 6 from 3 for 24 points, but from the free throw line, he was awful, 3 of 8. So, current score, I believe this is right at the end of the first. The Denver Nuggets have a 35-22 lead over the Phoenix Suns. Phoenix just won the last 2 games at Footprint Center, but now they'll go back to Ball Arena in Denver, Colorado. So for the Suns, it's 10 points for Devin Booker. He's been outrageous in this series right now. 4 of 5. He's played all 12 minutes, 10 points. Kevin Durant with 3 points, played all 12 minutes, 1 of 5. You know he's going to start to heat up a little bit, but he's been not very good to start in a minus 13. Again, this is continually without Chris Paul, but Suns fans would argue what else is new on that side. They're used to not seeing him. Michael Porter Jr., excellent game for him so far. 14 at the end of 1 on 5 of 6 shooting with 2 rebounds, assists, a steal. And Nikola Jokic with a quick 5 with 5 rebounds and 4 assists. Bruce Brown's got 4 points, a former Piston, off the bench. We'll get you some MLB scores. As it's just me today, we can talk about some other things. And if you have any comments, please leave them in the section box, and I will get right to you on that side. Baseball scores here for you while we're in the middle of our intermission between the Stars and the Kraken. It is, let me give you some finals first. We'll go from the bottom to the top. Padres all over the Twins. They win 6-1. The Twins fall to 2 games, Buff, after 19-17. That's good for the Detroit Tigers. And I guess I'm not ashamed to say that I'm enjoying the way the Tigers are playing, considering how garbage the team is. But that's what you get when you got Al Avila. Now you got to bring in Scott Harris and try to fix it. And you also have a cheap ass as far as Chris Illich, not like his dad on that end. So you got to get rid of Miguel Cabrera's $30 million contract and then hope they spend money and move on from that. But Tigers aren't that far out of it, especially if the Twins aren't taking command. Dodgers get a 6-2 victory over the Brewers. Brewers fall to 20-16. Dodgers win 22-15. Braves, if they win again, they've looked good all year. 25-11, but they're 10-8 at home. They're just really good on the road on that side. Red Sox are 21-16. The Yankees, they're in the basement right now of the AL East, but they're above 500. They're 20-17. The Athletics fall to 8-29. Phillies, they're continually trying to work their way above 500. They had a really poor start to the year. They won 8-4 against the Blue Jays. They fall to 21-15. It's the Reds over the Mets. Scherzer got scratched in his start today. Reds are 15-20. You think they'd be worse, but they're not. They win 7-6 over the Mets. The Mets fall below 500. They're 17-19. It's the Rockies all over the Pirates. Pirates have been in free fall mode since starting out great. They started to play some good teams, started to get some losses. It's a 10-1 win for the Rockies. The Orioles beat the Rays. Rays don't lose too much. The Orioles are 23-13. Rays are 29-8. The Guardians, with Shane Bieber on the mound, they shut out the Tigers. They won 2-0. They're 17-19. Tigers are 16-19. Nobody's taking control of that AL Central, so the records sound bad, but they're still right there. Giants, these are all in progress scores now. It's 2-0 over the Nationals. The Mariners are up 2-0 against the Rangers. It's a 4-1 lead for the Marlins over the Diamondbacks. The Angels have a quick 1-0 lead over the Astros. I guess I shouldn't say quick. That's on top of the 5th. The Astros still trying to work their way to 500. And the Royals and the White Sox, 2 of the biggest disappointments in the AL Central. That's tied at 1 in the bottom of the 5th. White Sox are 12-24. I just don't understand that with the pieces that they have, that they played so poorly.
You got to move forward. Yeah, just like they move forward from their game, we got to move forward from ours.
So we gave you the baseball scores. We gave you the reset of the NHL and NBA scores. I'm going to go flip back to the NHL side. We'll take a look at tomorrow. So I want to say this completely for the record as far as the tomorrow slate. I'm supposed to spend time with the fiance, so I don't think I will be able to cover anything tomorrow. I know on the Saturday side between the Michigan Independence Hockey League, I'll be at Lakeland Ice Arena to cover the MIHL finals on Will TV with John Stonehouse. That will be Waterford Sharks and the Muskegon Voyagers. The Voyagers, they won the title 3 years in existence for the MIHL, but they won the title the last 2 years. Sharks trying to make something happen. So my weekend assignment will be Saturday and Sunday on location. Sunday, Mother's Day, so they'll have to make that up to my mom on that side. But we'll get that figured out. So today for the broadcast, possibly Thursday, and then weekend I'll be on location. So if I likely can't do anything tomorrow, but it will be Maple Leafs Panthers. If I am available, that's the one I'm probably going to cover because I just want to see if the Panthers get the sweep at FLA Live Arena. You know what? For the Maple Leafs fans, you feel good about winning a round, but then about 8 days later you get swept potentially. That's not fun. And then the Golden Knights and the Oilers. I know there were some people saying they didn't think the Golden Knights were able to fight back. I've been the opposite side of that the whole way. I'm kind of on board of. I understand still how top heavy the Oilers are with Draisaitl and McDavid, but it's been that way. It wasn't that way in the regular season, but it's been that way now. Draisaitl's been ridiculous. But the Golden Knights, if the Oilers go down 3-1, they certainly have the firepower to get back in the series, but that's not what they want right now. What say you guys? What do you like in the tomorrow matchups for Wednesday? Maple Leafs Panthers, Golden Knights Oilers. Are you fans of any particular teams in the NHL playoffs right now? You got any thoughts about anything that's been going on? I know everybody had thoughts about the NHL draft lottery. I made a small little write-up because, again, local stuff for me. So think for the Red Wings, and I put a message and stuff at the bottom. I understand people are very upset about certain things, but I just want to remind everybody, because we talked about all the news and notes at that time, especially with Kyle Beach situation, everything that went on in the enema for the Chicago Blackhawks, everything that had to end up happening. Just remind everybody, nothing takes away the cloud that went over the organization, and it's up to all of us to speak out. I don't care what sport it is, what part of life. If there's any kind of injustices or people are treated unfairly, not for any of that stuff to be swept under the rug. That's something to be learned about all of this. The NHL and everything else probably won't take responsibility of as much as they should, because Arizona got punished more for tampering more so than the Blackhawks even did. They still got Bedard. I'm not arguing that. That's just the case. But on the side of it, it's up to all of us to police ourselves. And when something is wrong, we speak up about it. That's the whole point of it on that side. But if you have any thoughts about the draft lottery, some of the other prospects, again, we have a chance to look at in the World Juniors. Saw a lot of Connor Bedard and Adam Fantilli out of Michigan. Those are the projected top 3 picks, along with Leo Carlson out of the Swedish league. Red Wings are going to still pick 9th. I know Steve Eisman will get them a good player. I know people were complaining over here in Detroit because they only had a 5% chance. They said they can't have nice things. Well, there's a reason why you tank, and the Blackhawks kind of showed you why it works. Again, people don't like it on that side, but if you're still on the other end, if you're the Anaheim Ducks and if you're the Columbus Blue Jackets, you're supposed to make the playoffs this year. You'd be dealt with a ridiculous amount of injuries, but now you can bring in another prospect, top 3 prospect, alongside healthy players and Johnny Gaudreau, who had a great season. So not all hope is lost. I just try to give you different perspectives. I don't want to be always argumentative. I'm not one of those types. I don't know if Cooper Hopkins and I will reconnect across the weekend side because of the couple assignments, and with Mother's Day, I know he's going to be busy on that side too. But I think next week we definitely will. And I think if the Panthers, at least because I know for him, for Matthew Tkachuk, formerly on the Calgary Flames, is keeping his eye on that side. We're going to cover East, whether it's Carolina and Florida, we're covering that, and we'll be covering the West. And then when we get to the Stanley Cup Finals, I may miss Game 2 because I have to go to a wedding, my fiance's sister's wedding on that side. But I think everything else will be good to go as far as the Stanley Cup Finals. And Cooper Hopkins will be with me in every single one of these games like it was last year. It'll be the first time that we put all the games on YouTube. It was on color cast on the phone side, but that went away. So now it's just Twitter Spaces at John Reinott. Same thing at the YouTube side. And I think as we go along, I'll make sure I buy a podcast microphone so it's a little bit more clear.
Here in Seattle, set for the start of the second period. Dallas, a response opening period to a 7-2 loss in game number 3. Game number 4, a different story for the Stars, at least so far. Bob Boucher with Brian Boucher and Linda Cohen is with us as well. Let's get to those Chipotle winning ingredients. What were the winning ingredients of the opening period for the Stars? Well, you mentioned losing 7-2. You want to have a good start.
So the ESPN coverage is going to be getting back underway right now. And we will, once the puck drop hits, we'll take you back into the play-by-play. We did a lot of extended talking there in the intermission. So I'm going to rest my voice here probably for about a minute. And then we'll get back into the play-by-play. Now I'm probably going to use a cough drop as well, so you guys don't have to hear me clear my throat. Thank you guys for sticking with me on this side. I'm just happy to provide the coverage. I wish I could give you the YouTube feed of the game. I'd just be demonetized completely. Not that I ever would be, but they'd shut down streams. So I can at least try to do my best to give you the play-by-play. So we got 11 votes. Instead of the Stars, even the series 2-2 after tonight. It's pretty split here, but 64% of you say yes, 36% of you say no. This could be a 7-game series. We knew it was going to be a good one. So we're underway right now with the puck drop. This is Dallas. They're going to take a look at this in the defensive end. It's going to be right to left here for the Seattle Kraken and left to right for the Dallas Stars against Seattle. Or in the home navies, it's what I got right now with the amount of Beniers thanks to Cooper Hopkins on that side. But he got reimbursed, of course, as this is sent back here in the defensive end. And this will take a look at it now for Ty Cartier. And he will flip this into 22-year-old from the Coachella Firebirds. As this is sent back around, Cartier will drop a stick. And now Joe Pavelski will get this. This is a good pass and across for Robo, but this gets flipped. And now Larsson with an outstretched pass. They're looking for a quick counter pass for Seattle. But this will be iced against the Kraken. They can't change, and Dallas will get an offensive zone draw upcoming. And of note, when you think about that, as we said, 31 out of 32 for the Seattle Kraken on draws on that side of that in the regular season. They're already about 75% to 25%, so you can count that into a 3 or 4 marker pretty much. That Dallas is going to get this puck possession and take it the other way regardless of the zones. So it's very important that Seattle does what they can to cut into the deficit. They're never going to be a good face-off team, not at least at this point right now, until they continue to work on and get different personnel across their separate years. They're only in their second year of existence, and they're already making a second-round playoff run. They make a lot of other teams jealous. I hear that from a lot of the other teams that aren't expansion and say, why are they making it like this? That's just the way it is now. You're not going to have a bunch of 5th line, 7th line grinders that won't even make the team. They'll be in NHL teams. You got to make them relevant right away. This is a Yanni Gourde chance. And it's on the left side of the wall. And it'll be held by Jake Ottinger. We talked about Jake Ottinger 21-2 coming off of a loss. And he's absolutely shut the door right now. But he's only had to face 6 shots on goal as Yanni Gourde just played this near the left side of the wall and tried to shoot 5-hole again. It's a lot of the spots where Jake Ottinger was open in Game 3. It's not open in Game 4 right now, but Seattle just needs more chances. It kind of feels like Game 2 when I said that a lot when it was a solo call. So Yanni Gourde, he does win the draw. And now it's Bjorkstrand. He'll fire it wide. This goes back to Yanni near the left side of the red line. Carson Soucy. This is flipped up and behind the net. This will bounce out the left side of the crease. But Dallas is right there on the cleanup crew with Roope Hintz. And now Joe Pavelski with the stick and drag. He'll play this back to his defense. They kept it on side, unbelievably. And now Philip Grubauer makes the save as somebody took a spill on the other end for Dallas. They wanted a high sticking call after the play. I don't think they're going to get one, but we'll get a stoppage here with an offensive zone draw coming for Dallas with 18:23 left to go in the second. Joining here with you on the play-by-play, we are watching this one on ESPN and ESPN Plus. 6 games with 30-plus saves or more in this postseason, most among goalies. So Philip Grubauer, there's definitely a regular season one, and there's definitely a playoff one. He's been about, let's say, 35 points percentage higher than his regular season numbers, where he was worse than average. It was sent back around the wall. Now picked up by Heiskanen. He'll drive. And this one goes off the left blocker of Grubauer. Try to be recollected by Seattle. There's a stretch pass. Will go just a smidge too far the other way for Jamie Alexiak. Again, Jamie Alexiak is Cooper Hopkins likes to say with the former Flames when Nikita Zadorov, it's a defenseman Alexiak that will pinch and try to make some changes. As this is in behind the cage of Odger, centered out in front of Fandon immediately. That would have been an opportunity for Seattle to tie the game at 1, but this is picked up here by Will Borgen. Let's settle it down for Jamie Alexiak. As this goes in across the red line, it's flipped in across the crease from left to right, as Ottinger will make the pass. And quickly send the other way for Dallas as they're in the white jerseys mixing with the victory green stripes. And Glendening can't find it. And good combination play. Here's a long flip. A race for the puck now for Jared McCann, but he can't get there. The hybrid icing is won by Dallas, and now a late shove against Jared McCann. Again, I don't mind the physicality on that side, but you know what Dallas wants to do against a player that just came back. And if you're Jared McCann, he took exception to that with Brian Suter. He knows he doesn't want to get injured or deal with any other stuff since he just came back. So 17-22, left to go in the second, and it's going to be another offensive zone draw. And they're showing it again where Wenberg got an elbow up in the face of Marchman on the left side of the cheek, but it was Heiskanen that pushed him into it. And that's what they're showing. Jim Nill, the general manager, the former assistant of the Red Wings side. I know one of my Dallas buddies always asked me, why'd you ever let him go? Well, I mean, you already had Ken Holland on that side when he actually was competent, and then he went nuts and went to Edmonton and ruined the Red Wings on that side along with Mike Ilitch, as they kept trying to take stuff late and keep it dragging it along to try to get the 25 years playoff streak alive. Now, Steve Yzerman has had to clean up the toxic waste spill that's over in Detroit, as it's going to be in year 6. And I know fans are angry they're not winning much, but it takes time, especially when you got to complete all the contracts. This bounces away from Robertson, and now Roope Hintz. As Roope Hintz will try to pick it up with the help of Joe Pavelski. They're just jamming away at this near the left side of the red line in Seattle. Flip this out of their own end, now into the neutral zone. Will skate in across the left side of the wall. Miro Heiskanen will gingerly send this back around, and Dallas will get a long flip as this will go away from Pavelski, and the stick lift will be won by Jimmy Alexiak. So they'll try to push right to left in the home navy. So Alexiak will send this around the inboards as this is picked up now. It's overskated, and now getting Dadonov. His sauce pass will get picked off by Seattle in their own end. Flip down across the red line as they try to relocate Miro Heiskanen. Wyatt Johnston, the 20-year-old. He will send this back in across for getting Dadonov. But Will Borgen, he got hit pretty good into the boards. Again, not an illegal hit there, but he couldn't brace himself as Wyatt Johnston trying to get around Ty Cartier, Jamie Alexiak. And now Grubauer, and Alexiak got somebody in a headlock, but this will fall back in behind into Grubauer. Not sure how that even bounced out in front, but Grubauer located it. You get a stoppage with 15:55 to go in the second. John right there with you with the solo call for Game 4. Seattle trying to take a 3-1 series lead. Dallas trying to even this up 2 games apiece. This is on ESPN only tonight. This is not on Sportsnet, otherwise I'd be flipping that over. 3 points, 2 goals, and an assist in 6 career playoff games, 2 points in the last 2 games for Ty Cartier. Again, of the Coachella Firebirds on that side. So if Dallas wins this one, this will become a best of 5, and we will head back to American Airlines Center, as this is rarely won, but it is, by Seattle. And now Bjorkstrand here for Yanni Gourde. Is Yanni Gourde trying to get in the offensive zone off the backhand. This goes off his body, and this is sent back the other way. Again, Cartier with 28 goals, 29 assists, and 57 points in 72 games at Coachella Valley on that side. As this is played in behind the net. And now Bjorkstrand will make his pass, and across the tentacle ass, this will be Carson Soucy. Will rip this around the inboards as we'll take a look at it as Ellie Tolvanen. And this takes one of the Dallas Stars off the puck as they try to work their other way into the neutral zone now. It's picked up now. Domi scores! Great setup the other way from Max Domi. And Thomas Harley, the defenseman, makes it 2-0 Stars. So Dallas, this is the second time and toward the middle of the ice where they were able to get something going. And it's Harley. He plays it off his own end. Tyler Seguin will get it one way. And it's recollected. Max Domi in the high slot near the left side dot. It's Harley walking right in and shooting. He never stopped skating. It was Curavanta. Sent it the other way for Domi. Harley walks in and snipes. No chance for Grubauer. And it's a 2-0 lead for Dallas. Good work there by Thomas Harley. And definitely he got rewarded by Peter DeBoer today because he got moved to the second line in defense and gives Dallas a 2-0 lead with 15-14 left to go in the second. So as I mentioned a couple times already, that this game 2 and game 4, they're feeling very much alike. It's been a punch counter punch type of series, and anytime someone gets a big win, it comes the other way, and the other team returns the favor. So this could essentially be a series that what you would imagine would at least go 6, maybe 7, as this is tangled in behind the net. Now Seattle got to find some footing as this is recollected here for Jaden Schultz. Schultz now. He's all tied up as Jaden Schultz. Now he gets a takedown, and Vince Dunn wants a piece of one of the Dallas Stars. I wouldn't be surprised if Vince Dunn's going to go to the box against Max Domi. That was a little bit of a mini assault as Max Domi's got a little bit of that hockey smell. He's missing one of the chiclets on that side, but Vince Dunn, man, he slammed Max Domi's face into the wall. Then he gets a slash in the legs, and then Dunn with a series of cross checks. And then after that, he gets a takedown. Domi, after getting cross checked 5 times, it's a spear by Dunn, and then a headlock, and then a takedown. This went nuts on the other end. A punch to the back of the head by Domi. It's all different kinds of contact. So definitely Vince Dunn, you would think, has got to get the extracurricular, but they're going to send both. So Vince Dunn with the second penalty of the game. That's not good on that end because that's Seattle's best defensive partner on that end. So if you're thinking about taking one player up for another, if you're thinking about the personnel side, Max Domi's been decent. But if you could trade that every single time, I think you would. As Borgen has it now on the 4-on-4. It's an offensive zone draw, unbelievably, and this is a chance now for Jordan Eberle on the backhand. He'll cut in the middle of the circles off the drop pass. Leave it here for Beniers. He'll cut in and shoot, but that was a good block the other way by Pavelski. As this is sent back now for Eberle. Eberle will find his defensive partner, bounced off of Alexiak's skates, and this will be recollected here by Seattle. That could have been a 3-0 lead for Dallas, and now Alexiak. And across the tentacle S, it's Eberle now. Cutting in the middle of the slot, it's Beniers. Nice backhanded move, but this gets taken away, and now it's Joe Pavelski. Has it now. Here with, I believe, Suter. He's waiting for the trailing pass, driving to the net. This stays with Dallas. And the high slot, here's the extra one. Good save by Grubauer with the stick. That was not easy, as this is sent the other way for Eberle. A minute left to go on the 4-on-4. Eberle will pay it back now to Alexiak. Alexiak now will kiss this off the window into the neutral zone, as this will fall back to Carson Soucy. Soucy now slowly and across the inboards. As Seattle, they need to find their footing. They don't have much of that here in game 4. Again, it's been like that a couple games ago on that side. You would take a series split on both sides if you're both teams. You did exactly what you had to do. But Seattle got to find some offense. Bjorkstrand now. And on the left side of the wall, and the left side dot will work his way in through the neutral zone as he's skated all the way back out. He's still with it now, dancing with the puck. Bjorkstrand gaining entry off the drop pass. And this gets intercepted now by Dallas. Delivered a body the other way is Yanni Gourde. As this is collected into the neutral zone, Bjorkstrand tries to cancel off a hit. And now Justin Schultz will send this back around. Bounces off his skates. And Schultz will send it back to the defensive partner. We're going to go back to 5-on-5 right now as soon as Seattle gets in through the neutral zone. So Wenberg has it. As they'll send this here, this bounces off with some skates and blades. Dunn's back on the ice. But we may go to a commercial break. 12:42 left to go in the second. Dallas now up by a pair. Grayson says, "What's up?" Ramirez says, "I don't know who doesn't like it, but Robertson needs to sit and give someone else a chance because he's not producing at all." You know what, Ramirez, on that side, we had this discussion with Cooper Hopkins on that end. You got to keep in mind he's only 22 years of age. I understand some people might not like it, but who are you going to replace him with? Tell me on that side. I'm not going to argue you, but I just want to know who you're going to take. You might even consider maybe moving. I can give you this if you want to split the difference. Maybe move Robertson down a line. But I'm not taking him out of the lineup. Not a chance.
share our support of the military with the NHL. Navy Federal Credit. Our members are the mission. Duracell's latest technology helps power electronics. The only batteries with power-boost ingredients, making it the most advanced Duracell batteries ever. Put the power of Duracell in your devices.
Well, it's been a much different tone for Dallas here in Game 4 versus Game 3. And a power play goal by Jamie Benn off the rush, and then the second period goal by Thomas Harley off the feed by Max Domi. And the Dallas Stars much more competitive on the walls. Their skating legs are there, and they've had a good start to this game, and we're almost halfway through it, and they got themselves a 2-1 lead.
And if I'm going to say this too, if you're Dallas, you're in a battle here with Seattle. I don't care what anyone says about Seattle; they're as good as any of the other teams that are left in the tournament right now. And Dallas just needs to get the secondary goal scoring alongside like what Seattle's done. You can't be top heavy, and they're doing really good in this game to do that. So if you're just depending on Jason Robertson to do it all, again, he's only 22. Matty Beniers is only 20. On this side, Ty Cartier is 22. So we're back underneath the play-by-play now as it's Vince Dunn and across the window. And it's recollected now by Ryan Donato. We haven't called his name too many times. Jared McCann, Levis, get taken away the other way. And a hit is eluded. That would have been an absolute smash into the neutral zone that Seattle could have delivered. But this will fall back to Vince Dunn. Vince Dunn now will play this in across the middle. Drop it in for Jared McCann. McCann find the saucer pass. High slot. Great save for Jake Ottinger. That is robbery. And he's back to his former self. That was a good combination play in between Domi and, Vince Dunn, Jared McCann, and Larsson. Larsson, it was in between the circles. That is right in the catching glove. Ottinger saw it the whole way, and he made that save look a little bit too easy. That looks like the Jake that we all know as we get a stoppage with 11:57 left to go in the second. Another offensive zone draw. This one's won by Seattle, and they'll backhand this up the outside of the cage. The shot attempts by period were 22-16 for Dallas in the first, but it's 7-6 Seattle in the second. They're trying to even their way back into this, but they need to even their way on the shot board. It's 14-8 on that end. Dallas is keeping the attempts low, much like they did in Game 2, where they've had complete control. And that kind of leads me to believe that this could be at least a 6 or 7 game series the way that this is going, as it's sent back around now for Will Borgen. They'll play the pass to the former Tampa Bay Lightning man, and Yanni Gourde, as this goes away from Hintz, and now picked up across the left side of the wall for Oliver Bjorkstrand. As this is intercepted for Gourde. Gourde will shoot a shot that gets fought off by Jake Ottinger, and now played quickly. As this is sent back in, Yanni Gourde will chase after it. Ryan Suter will sweep it back in the defensive end, and now try to play this left to right. As Joel Kiravanta will pick it up now for Schultz. And now Seguin send this back around the inboards here. Seguin gets rubbed off the puck, and this is trying to get picked up near the left side of the blue line, but this will be picked up now by Thomas Harley. He's got a goal as he's moved up to the second line side of the defense. As it's picked up now, Mason Marchment. He gets canceled off the puck. Here's Dallas walking in, scores! What a shot the other way! And it's Max Domi. He's got his second point of the game. And Dallas is all over the Kraken right now. It's 3-0, but they're looking at the iPads here as Seattle, maybe for an offside entry or something. Right now, what I'm saying is they're looking for answers because Dallas is kicking their butts right now. This might be some sort of goaltender interference, Jamie Benn. And if that is, that's Carson Soucy pushing Jamie Benn into Philip Grubauer. I wouldn't call that interference. No way, no how against Dallas. But if you're going to look for something, what's the worst that could happen? You get a penalty call against you and Dallas gets a power play. You're already down 3. So I wouldn't even call that grasping at straws. I think that might be a chance worth taking. But honestly, I'm going to say they're going to lose it because Carson Soucy definitely pushed Jamie Benn into Grubauer. But they're challenging it. And I really don't think that there's anything that Seattle's got to lose. So we're in the middle of the challenge. I just want to throw this out there. Ramirez hasn't responded on that side. I don't know if he's still available on that side. But, again, I appreciate you guys following along, even along the lines of the score line as it is. It's been very busy on this side, so really appreciate that. So from what I see in the initial challenges, it's 3-0 right now, and they're trying to figure out when this third goal is going to stand. Jimmy Benn's going to get pushed by Carson Soucy, and Max Domi lets this shot go up the stick drag, and Philip Grubauer is not tracking the puck at all. But if you're Dave Hakstol and you're Seattle, what do you have to lose if you lose the challenge? Yeah, you go down a man. Yeah, you give Dallas another power play, but you're already down 3 goals. I think you're in. You really have to challenge. I don't think there's anything other question on that side. So that's what we'll take a look at. I think this should be a quick challenge, but we will see how that one goes. Again, weirder things happen. I don't think Jamie Benn sold it all that much, but we will see what happens here on that end. But I think Dave Hakstol's got to challenge it. And if you're Dallas, you're going to get a power play and a goal if it doesn't work out. So 10:35 left to go in the second. While we get and await some words, I will go ahead and maybe mention this goal here in the notes, and we will see if this stands. Well, I'll give you some expanded commentary. So Harley never stopped skating at 446 after moving the puck in the defensive zone from defense to offense. He was wide open from the Domi pass. So then if this goal stands, we will look at this right now. This will be at 9:25. We're going to type in coach's challenge in our notes. And then we say, does the Domi shot stand? That's where we're at right now. So Soucy hits Benn and forces him into Grubauer. So does the wrist shot from the left dot stand? And then we can tell you this right now, either way, this is a game that's all stars. So what's the call? So the goal stands. Again, that's initially what I thought. I didn't think there was going to be anything there because Carson Soucy pushed Jamie Benn into Grubauer on that side. So goal stands 3-0 Stars. And again, if you're picking playoff games to cover, and I know Alec and Ian covered this. I worked with them a couple of times on that, and they covered Hurricanes and Devils. We're not quite at that territory yet, but the way Dallas is playing, it wouldn't surprise me if we do get to that territory. So, as it is, Stars with 17 goals in the second period is most of any team. And they have a 3-0 lead with 10:30 left to go in the second. The shots are 16-8 as this is flipped in off of a clear and sent back down for Miro Heiskanen. Now Joe Pavelski, he's the one that's got it. Pavelski now leaves it here for Roope Hintz as they have the names above the heads. Again, they have that side of it on ESPN because they're thinking the power play but didn't stand on that end. But that's what they have right now. So it'll take them 2 minutes to clear. It's flipped down the ice. This will be played by Jake Ottinger. We've hit the halfway marker of the second period. John, I'm with you on this Game 4 call. It's 3-0 Dallas. It's just like Game 2 right now. Roope Hintz, full flight. Jimmy Benn. Pavelski lets it go. Big save by Grubauer. And now some serious fists being thrown. Roope Hintz, his helmet comes off. Jamie Alexiak's got him in a headlock. He gave him an uppercut and a couple of bows. And now Joe Pa the other way. As Jared McCann trying to get in the mix. So Jared McCann just got back on the ice. And he's the one. Now as Robertson throws a shove to Yanni Gourde. again, Robertson doesn't want to get pushed around. I know a lot of the Dallas fans don't like the fact, again, I can't believe this, but I have to report it. They don't like the way Robertson's playing, and they want to see him move down. I hear that a lot on that side. What do you want the 22-year-old to do? He had over 100 points in the regular season. He's getting a taste of playoff action. He didn't get a lot of it last year, especially on a team that wasn't very good. They came with a negative goal differential. This is a lot different team. It's a lot deeper. So you're not going to depend just on everybody, just one line to get it done. So Roope Hintz got a slasher on the hands after Grubauer already made the save. And Larsson's like, you know what? I don't like the slashing on the goaltender. We're going to start the fisticuffs. And Jamie Alexiak will come in with the bear hug as he's hugging on to Roope Hintz, giving him a couple bows in between there. It was Yanni Gourde and Jason Robertson in the mix with a couple of fists as you knew this would get a little bit hot on that end. So Roope Hintz is in the box. I didn't see who's in the box for Seattle just yet, but it looks like they're going to be sending Adam Larsson. He'll be going in. We'll take a look at the penalties right now. So as it stands, at 10:08, this is unofficially on the ESPN box score on the computer side from the YouTube side that I'm trying to relay to you. It's Jamie Benn and Roope Hintz in for Dallas and Adam Larsson in for Seattle Kraken, all at 10:08. As it stands right now, Dallas is up 3-0. We'll give you the scoring summary. It was Jimmy Benn with the lone goal in the first, and the power play from Roope Hintz. It was his second, from Roope Hintz's ninth assist, Miro Heiskanen's eighth. Thomas Harley with his first of the playoffs from Max Domi and Joel Piravanta, and then Max Domi from Hanley and Thomas Harley. Joel Hanley and Thomas Harley. Max Domi with his second point of the game. Jamie Benn, he was going into the penalty box, and now he's going down the tunnel. And Larsson is cut above the bridge of his nose. So maybe Jamie Benn, he's cut above the bridge of his nose and his eye. So there are a couple players. Larsson's messed up bad and toward the left side of his eye and all over his nose. I think Benn is as well. So the captaincy for Jamie Benn's going to repairs. Adam Larsson, the defenseman from the Edmonton Oilers, now Seattle Kraken's going in for repairs. And we still have a lot to work out as far as who's going to be in the penalty box. It's Yanni Gourde talking with Joe Pavelski. Joe Pa's got a big smile on his face right now on this side. Again, he's got to feel a lot better. Again, he's not on the score sheet just yet, but his team's up 3-0. He wasn't on the score sheet in Game 3. He's not in Game 4 so far, but his team's up 3-0 after scoring 5 goals in the first 2 games and 4 goals in a Game 1 loss. As the Zebras still have some conversation here with Yanni Gourde and Joe Pavelski. I will go ahead and get some notes in here on this side as we are waiting for the rest of this to get underway right now. We're still 9:52 left to go in the second. It's been a couple of extended stoppages. My apologies on that. We dealt with a lot of fights and a lot of stuff to get squared away. So we're getting all the penalties explained. So I'm just going to put this in my notes. So with 9:52 left in the second. It'll be a 16-8 shot advantage on goal for Dallas. Hits are 20-6 for Seattle. The faceoffs are starting to get even here. So ESPN clarifies, even with all the injuries and some of the things, there are no misconducts. So as we're underway, it's Tyler Seguin driving it for Robertson, and he got stonewalled by Grubauer. But that was a good take by Robo. And now Pavelski. Here's Miro Heiskanen now with Pavelski. This will go back to Miro. Miro now for Tyler Seguin. Now Robertson sent it out in front. That one goes just wide. The left side of the cage as Robertson gets it here for Evgeny Dadonov. Now Pavelski. Heiskanen quickly here for Tyler Seguin. Seguin will flip it down. Back to Miro on the high slot. Here's a shot through traffic. Pavelski scores! Dallas up 4-0. Joe Pavelski back on the score sheet. It's the 6th goal of the postseason. It's all in this series. And Dallas up 4-0 as Seattle will get somebody out of the box. But this game is definitely getting very out of hand, just like it did in the Carolina and New Jersey series. Pavelski, that was shoveled right out in front by Robertson, so he is going to get an assist. So for everybody that's complaining about Robertson, he's got a point now and he's on the board here. So let's cool our jets. I tried to say that a little bit in a couple games ago when Cooper Hopkins was with me on this side. We were in fundamental agreement because I just don't understand where all the narrative's coming from. Joe Pavelski's 70th career playoff goal is 6th of the series. Dallas again. Now has a chance off a 2-on-1. It's Luke Glendening. Plays it off the backhand. 2 goals in a minute 25 seconds. And now Ty Cartier has it. I'll drop it in for Eberle. Eberle near the right side dot is Seattle. Just needs to get something on the score sheet here to feel good about themselves. They got to get 1 here in the second. They're down 4. As this is flipped up, it's blocked and flipped up into the players' bench with 8:35 in the second period. It's a 4-0 lead for the Dallas Stars as we go to commercial break with 8:35 left in the middle frame.
So it breaks our heart when we see deliveries done wrong.
Like soggy fries. They're cold, they're soggy, and they don't deliver well.
We knew we had to do something about it. Turns out the solve wasn't a better fry.
It was hot.
Dad knows new loaded up. Crispy, golden pop. And because we're a pizza company, we loaded them with pizza toppings. Our tots made to be delivered. They can't just
So the second goal of the second period was Domi at 9:25 from Joel Hanley.
First, there's an idea, and you do something about it for the first time with GoDaddy. Then, before you know it, you make your first sale. Small business first, never stop coming.
And then the power play goal, the latest at 10:50 from Joe Pavelski.
Start today at GoDaddy.com.
Need to be at your best? You need an antiperspirant that goes beyond. Introducing
Jason Robertson and Miro Heiskanen.
Takes care for your skin so you can forget your underarms and focus on being unforgettable. Blue Dove and Forgettable Underarms, Unforgettable You.
You're never responsible for unauthorized purchases on your Discover card.
Welcome back to Seattle. Dave here at the home sport hole. How do you get out of here?
We've been a step slow and a step behind all night long. So that's the first thing we have to do. We're going to get some energy back into our game. Start playing already.
How do you think Jerry McCann
So Robertson sends the puck in the middle of the slot, and Pavelski finds it for a power play goal and his 6th of the series.
Thanks, Dave.
Hakstol's point, the step slow, they need energy. That's not something that we've ever really talked about with Seattle in these playoffs. They've been, I think, as consistent to team effort-wise as any team we've seen.
So Grayson, thank you. He says Robertson is a stud, in my opinion. Yeah, we're in like minds on that side. I think anyone is crazy if they think otherwise. Again, it's hard to find a 22-year-old to get a chance to find his footing into the playoffs. As it's sent back around now, especially you got Matty Beniers and Ty Cartier 2022. How do you think they feel on that side? As it's picked up now for Vince Dunn. Recollected here for Schultz. Here's a sauce pass now. Seattle fires it down. This one goes wide. Center front scores! Seattle gets on the board. It's 4-1. So they needed to find some energy. That's what Dave Hakstol was just looking for. And now they finally got some. And we will see who's going to get the credit for the goal right now. But Seattle, they needed something. I think they want to get this at least to within 2 going into the third period. But it looks like Jaden Schultz might be getting the goal. It was a great sauce pass near the left side dot. Fired. It got blocked in there by Yanni Gourde and Morgan Geekie. So Geekie tries to redirect it. And it's picked up by Schultz. Schultz centered it right out in front for a cutting Schultz. So great play by Justin Schultz. He never stopped moving to the net, and Jaden Schultz will pick it up and score. Jaden Schultz's 30th career playoff goal is 4th of the series. So he's got 4, and Pavelski's got 6. So for all of the line juggling, again, I should not really line juggling, but combination of goals that Seattle has had, Schultz has been really good in this series with 4. And now Seattle is on the board. It's 4-1. Ryan Donato with an outstretched pass. Seattle trying to get a little bit of life. Again, you saw that in game 2. When Seattle scored, they had the first couple of about 3 minutes where they looked really good, and then Dallas came back and dug their claws in and stopped any opportunities for Seattle. But Seattle needs to get one here, I think, within the next couple of minutes to try to make it a little bit closer. Matty Beniers in full flight as this gets knocked away by Thomas Harley. Sent back around now, and Eberle will try to get the steal away from Harley. As he gets taken down, Morgan Geekie tries to locate him. You can always tell him from the pink visor as this is sent back down here for Vince Dunn. Dunn has it now. His long pass across the tentacle assist will flip across Bjorkstrand's stick. And now Schultz back out there right now. He's trying to get this in the high slot, played in between the legs nicely. Vince Dunn settled it down. Shot into the traffic. And Dallas was there with a stick lift as Seattle was on the doorstep. That could have been Schultz's second of the game. The shots are 19-9 now. As the crowd is back into this a little bit, as this is sent back down, and Hakenpop will flip this all the way down across the neutral zone as it's recollected by Carson Soucy. Soucy now sends a long stretch pass. Morgan Geekie will locate, he'll hold, he'll shoot. This goes off the left side of the window. Now for Yanni Gourde near the right side of the red line. Gourde. He's getting pressured against the wall by Domi. Max Domi's been excellent in this game. He's got a goal and an assist. Now Joe Pavelski, his stretch pass gets picked off. And now this will be peeled in off the change by Robo. This is centered out there. Will Borgen turns it over in the middle of the circles. And now Borgen tries to relocate with Tyler Seguin. Seguin now will be flipped in there by Max Domi as this is fired. And right into the catching glove of Philip Grubauer with 6:04 in the second. Seattle has life with a Jaden Schultz goal, but they are still down 3. They need to get at least one more, I think, into this third period to give themselves a chance to have a full chance to get back into this one, but at least they've shown something. And if you're Jake Ottinger, you've been much better in this game. Didn't really have a chance to make that save, no doubt about it. As their profile on Jason Robertson. He's got 1 point in this game right now, and I can't imagine. I know he's going to be hungry for more, and you know that as far as this future of this franchise, it's all systems go with Robo. They showed him 46 goals in the regular season, 2 in the playoffs, but again, none in the last 4 games as it's recollected here. But again, I just think that's unfair to profile them as much as they have on that side. That's going to continue because Dallas is really, really good. If it was just like last year, the eyes would be locked into them even more, but that's why you make your team much better than they were from last year. As it's picked up now for Eberle. Picked up off the backhand now, Ty Cartier will send this in to the left side of the red line, but a good work there by Miro. As he flips this in across the tentacle S, this gets picked up here for Yanni Gourde. Now on across the embankment, a little bit too far for Cartier. As this is intercepted one more time for Larsson. I'm sure he got his quick repairs across the bridge of his nose. He was all busted up. As this is flipped in out of the zone now, this will be Larsson. Now for Jamie Alexiak with Will Borgen. As they'll send this in, Brandon Tanev, Turbo's got it on the left side of the wall. He gets it pretty hard as Robertson's back out there. This is flipped up. This bounced off of his left hand, and this will be recollected now by Joe Pavelski. This is another long flip that Donato will get to, but this will be Dallas with the puck position for Roope Hintz. Now here's a long stretch pass. Good block by Seattle as they'll try to pressure this even more in the neutral zone. This will be flipped down. And this is not ice. It's going to be collected by Donato, Carson Soucy, and they'll try to take this right to left. With 4:40 left to go in the second, this goes off the stick shaft of Jake Ottinger, and this is stolen. This is by Schultz, played in off the backhand. Ellie Tolvanen try to get chase alongside Morgan Geekie. Tolvanen with it in behind the cage of Jake Ottinger. Now Alex Winberg will try to collect it. Geekie as he's being stick battled all over the place. Tolvanen's got it, going to drive to the back of the net. Can't get the backhand off. But this is just poked out by Justin Schultz, the former Washington Capital, as it's sent back down, spinning in over end for an icing. 4:11, so Dallas can't change in the middle stanza right now, as it is 3-0 series lead for the Maple Leafs and the Panthers. I do got to spend some time with Lauren tomorrow. I got to spend some with the fiance, so if I am available and she can't come over on that side, it'll be 7 p.m. start between Maple Leafs and Panthers. It'll be my next call. If not, it'll be Thursday before we get the Waterford Sharks assignment on Saturday and Sunday on Mother's Day. It'll be a best of 5 in the NHL Finals, so we'll be on location. This will be a face-off win for Colin Miller, as he will flip this one down. He was the recipient of it. It'd be weird if the defenseman took it. 4 minutes left to go on the second as it's Vince Dunn. He'll recollect this now. As this takes a weird hop, Wyatt Johnston, couple stick drags. As this is picked up now by Larsson. He gets spotted off the puck by Evgeny Dadonov now. Dadonov trying to keep this alive. Wyatt Johnston as well. But Jimmy Alexiak canceled him off hard as he knocked him right down. Now Yanni Gourde with the race of the puck as Jake Ottinger will spin this quickly around. And it's recollected now by Wyatt Johnston. The 20-year-old has had a pretty good playoff so far. Again, he's a really good youngster. And you think about Logan Stankoven, who's probably going to be making his debut next year. He could have made it now, but Wyatt Johnston beat him to it. As they're playing with the Texas Stars on the other end. Jimmy Alexiak tried to center his way through to Oliver Bjorkstrand, but his pass got deflected. And now this will be an opportunity for Seattle to settle it back down with Oliver Bjorkstrand, left side across the red line. Again, the shots on goal still read 19-9. It's 4-1. The shots are not very high on that end, and Grubauer hasn't had his typical game. And Jake Ottinger hasn't had much to do as this is sent back across the red line. Ottinger will play this with the goal stick away from the trapezoid as it's Robertson. Here comes a long flip the other way. Carson Soucy will settle it down, and maybe a hand pass, or I believe that's the call as we get some pushing and shoving. And anytime anyone's near Heiskanen, he is putting the stick up around them to make sure nobody gets in front of his face. He's got to make sure those repairs stay nice and clean so he can stay back out on the ice because he took a vicious puck right to the face again on the other end. So we'll take a break and step aside for a moment. 4-1 Dallas.
I was having relationship issues with my old bank. Next to no interest. The fees, it was take. So I broke up with that banking and moved to SoFi checking and savings. Now I get higher interest, pay no account fees, and get my paycheck 2 days early.
Get up to 4.20% APY, pay no account fees, and up to $2 million in FDIC insurance. Download the SoFi app and earn up to $250 when you set up direct deposit. SoFi, get your money right.
This electric feels different because it's powered by the most potent source of energy there is. You.
So the latest goal was Jaden Schwartz. It was a great pass in tight of the crease by Justin Schultz. He never stopped moving off of a great pinch, and that allowed Seattle to get on the board. Really nothing Jake Ottinger could do on that side. Made it a 4-1 game.
You know what's crazy? That SMS text you're about to send, it's why
The Stanley Cup playoffs continue with a Game 4 doubleheader. The Maple Leafs look to stay alive against the Panthers. Then the Golden Knights and Oilers continue their battle up north. Tomorrow on ESPN.
Desperation moves for the Leafs. Whoever would have thought Boosh would be saying that, and we talked about it last night. You have to think there is going to be an incredible response by the Oilers on home.
So 2:46 left to go in this middle frame. It's all Dallas. They're up 4-1. This looks a lot like Game 2. Again, they're talking about some of this stuff on ESPN. They think that Edmonton's going to have a big response, and you feel like Toronto might have one as well. I'm not buying the Toronto one, but I will buy the side for the Edmonton Oilers because Vegas, they're a good team, but you got to have desperation. You go down 3-1 to Vegas. I think the Oilers I think they could be done on that end. I think they could force a Game 7, but I don't think they beat Vegas 3 straight times, but that's just me. So neutral zone face-off, this one's won by Dallas, and they'll flip it in. It's 2:35 left to go in the second. Here's a chance right in the middle of the slot. The backhand. Grubauer's down, and Dallas didn't finish it open net somehow. As this is picked up the other way. I think that was Jamie Benn that missed it. Here's a chance of the blocker. Grubauer lost his stick, but this is near the left side of the crease. I just don't think he has time to get to it. Heiskanen pinched himself too far away from the blue line, so now Grubauer can pick up the stick, but I think Jamie Benn unbelievably missed a backhanded wide open net. That would have been 21 shots to 9 on the end in a 5-1 lead, but it's still 4-1 as it's Heiskanen. And across the red line, this will be flipped in by Luke Glendening. And now Glendening will take a look at it alongside Radek Faksa. The bottom six, therefore, Dallas has been much better than the bottom six of Seattle. We haven't said that too many times, but I don't think it's any coincidence that in Game 2 and Game 4 so far, that they've outplayed and they've won. The teams that have had the bottom six outplay and win, that's what it's all about on that side, because these two teams can definitely roll out all four lines and do well. Jared McCann will try to maneuver there with Brandon Tan. And right now, McCann is spending his time on the fourth line, trying to get protected a little bit just to make sure he doesn't take any humongous hits as he's just back on the ice. Again, I think McCann's been fine, but Seattle has been a little flat as far as it's been. But it's also been Dallas. They've just closed them down, much like they did a couple games ago. This is sent back around for Miller. Will Borgen try to find him, but he fanned out. He dropped right to Joe Pavelski, where it's Roope Hintz now. Roope Hintz, he stayed on his feet, put this around the right side of the window. Colin Miller, he gets bodied off the puck by Ty Cartier, but it's intercepted by Hintz. Set up for Benn. Scores! Roope Hintz gets the steal, drops it for Benn, and Roope Hintz gets it right back off the rebound, and it is 5-1. Dallas in cruise control with 52 seconds remaining in the second. Grubauer, I will say this, I don't think it's been his fault tonight, but if you want to take a look at Martin Jones just to give Grubauer an extended reset, I think this is the time you do it, because I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I think this game's done. I know we still got another third period, and I write the game story, but my goodness, complete role reversal. Jamie Benn, I know it bounced a couple of times. Roope Hintz finished it off, but it was Roope Hintz the one that started it. And behind the net, he's the one that forced the steal. And he got the easy goal and finished it off, as Dallas has looked very good in this game 4. And I think they're going to take a 2-2 series tie, and then we'll go back to American Airlines. When Cooper and I were on the broadcast together just the other night on the side of it, we said this was going to be a great series. Roope Hintz gets his first on that side as it's sent back around. Cartier. We'll take a look now for Lindell. Roope Hintz had 12 points in the first round and led the NHL. He is an excellent, very underrated player. Wyatt Johnston. And around the boards now as he stays patient. Now looking for the deflection there for Benn as it's getting to Donald. We'll send this back around off a Seattle body. Dallas has time to settle this down and shoot. They got 8 seconds. Jimmy Benn into the traffic as this gets deflected. And now Larsson picking up off the backhand. Matty Beniers. They'll just skate it out. It's the end of 2. It's all Dallas. It's 5-1. When we come back, we'll call the third period action and see if anything changes. But it looks like we're going to have a 2-2 series tie.
Thank you, Bob. Coming up on the December 2nd intermission report, Chris Chelios, Mark Messier, DK Subban, shout out Boy Cooper. No chance. No chance, boy. We'll preview tomorrow's game.
Adventure X card from Capital One. You earn 2 times miles on every purchase.
You're not canceling. You're being too loud.
Victoria. Well, remember, plus earn 5 times miles on flights and 10 times miles on hotels through Capital One Travel. What's in your wallet?
Guardians, are you ready? What can you make speed like? Let's give the galaxy something to remember us by. It's the road we travel together that makes the journey. Whatever the galaxy throws your way this summer, count on a team you can trust for all your epic rides, Enterprise, and see Marvel Studios Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 only in theaters.
Just typing in this last goal. We've been able to do this as we go. Good thing we've done so because there'll be a lot to catch up on.
Wow, that's like really good. Or am I just acting? Taste it for yourself and find out.
We're reinventing our network.
For total confidence and complete control.
Fast, reliable, perfectly orchestrated. United States Sports Service. Anybody, dermatologist, to test new advanced hair body wash.
And then we'll give you a quick scoring reset of the second period. I might take a look at Denver and Phoenix on that side before we flip back into the third period as well.
New Dove Men advanced hair body washes.
What's your favorite part of the Kit Kat bar? The chocolate?
Nope, the inside.
The wafers?
No, that's something that
Kit Kat and try a bigger bite with Big Cat.
All right, so this is just in the second period alone. Hope you're ready for it because there's 5 goals. Thomas Harley started with his own in the own zone in the defensive end. It was Max Domi with an outstretched pass alongside Joel Kirivanta. Harley never stopped moving his feet. Domi set up Harley, the defenseman, on the left side of the circle, let a wrist shot go and scored. And then Max Domi with an opportunity. This one was at 9:25, the coach's challenge, but Domi's shot stands. Carson Soucy hit Benn into Grubauer. That's why it stood. Benn trying to get something going there, and Domi able to walk in the left circle and snipe it. Joe Pavelski, it was Jason Robertson that sent it to the left side of the crease. Pavelski picked it up off the backhand, scored on the power play, his 6th of the series. Miro Heiskanen got another point. Jaden Schultz, he got a good goal because Justin Schultz, the defenseman, never stopped moving his feet. He worked his way to the right side of the crease. He shoved the pass out in front. Jaden Schultz found it, made it a 4-1 game. But Roope Hintz from Jamie Benn. Roope Hintz got the steal and behind the net of Grubauer. He set up Jamie Benn. Benn's wrist shot in the middle of the slot got denied, but the rebound was picked up by Roope. He got his first of this series, but his 6th goal. He had 14 points in the first round. 19:07 is the latest goal. Dallas has a 5-1 lead. I feel like we might see a Philip Grubauer pull. That's just me on that side. Martin Jones hasn't had a lot of work. I don't think Seattle is going to get back into this game. That's just me. 17-22. We didn't know if we were going to see that from Jake Ottinger the other day, but that's what I thought we would see. We did get Scott Wedgwood, so maybe we'll see Martin Jones. But 17 out of 22 is Grubauer. 9 out of 10 is Jake Ottinger. He's been about as worked as any of us right now, but Jake is he's done what he's needed to do, and Dallas has just played a dominating game. So the first round, they're mentioning this on ESPN, has been a bunch of close games. The second round has been a bunch of blowouts.
And controversial goal. Yeah, we were split here 2-2. Here's the Domi goal. And Domi makes a great play.
So we'll just set this up right now. I'll give you a quick little reset of the shots on goal. They're now 22-10 for Dallas. I'm wondering how they think that's so controversial. I don't see that at all. And that's good. I'm a Red Wings fan wearing a Seattle jersey on this, like because of Matty Beniers, my broadcast partner. Give me that. I got to represent the U of M man on that side, the first ever pick. But there's nothing controversial about that goal for Max Domi to finish that one off. They're just trying to talk about something. I guess it isn't there, but that's what they like to sell, storylines at ESPN. The hits are 29-13 for Seattle. And the face-offs, again, this will be one of those ones you can throw in my face and say, John, they don't make a bit of difference because Seattle's been much better and they're getting dominated. Well, this is the one time I can agree with you on that side. They're still down 19-16, but it's been all Dallas in this game. Power plays are 2 for 3 for Dallas and 0 for 1 for Seattle. So I'm going to take a look at my phone really quick just to see how long this intermission is going to be. And then we can flip the basketball game on that, so I'll give you a scoring update. Maybe give you some small play-by-play and save the plays. So we got a little bit 10 minutes left here. So I am going to do this very quickly. If nobody minds, we're going to still cover this third period. We're going to cover the game struggle away. I don't care what the score line is. You don't change the assignment, but in the intermission, we'll give us something to talk about because I already covered the 6-1 Carolina victory over New Jersey. It's been all blowouts on that end. So let's take a look at the Suns and the Nuggets. We'll see if the Nuggets can bounce back after losing the last 2 games at the Footprint Center in Phoenix. They're all over Phoenix right now. So blowout central. Doesn't matter what games you're covering. None of these have been close all night. It's a 73-55 lead for Denver. And broadcast partner a couple times for the basketball side who likes to join. And he said the home team's going to win every game in this series between Denver and Phoenix. DeAndre Ayton just scored off of a flipper from 8 feet, and now it's Jamal Murray the other way. He's going to take his time. And Jokic gets around a screen, no call the other way. Now they're going to call it against Jokic. That was very delayed call the other way. And if you're going to call the initial one, you might as well call the initial one. I would say that it's easily an illegal screen, something blown right through for Jokic. It should have been against him, but why wait 20 seconds to do so after the play? So 6:15 left to go in the third. We're just flipping in the intermission side. It's a huge lead for Dallas. It's 5-1, but it's a big lead for Denver right now over Phoenix. It's Devin Booker now with a bounce pass. This will be set back now for Warren. And now inside Josh Okogie. We'll hit this there off the drop pass for Phoenix. This is just saved by Jamal Murray and picked up by Nikola Jokic. He will take this right to left. Denver with a little bit of interesting jerseys, a little silver. So it's a pick and pop play set there for Jokic and Porter, and they miss it as Devin Booker will take this left to right. He's going to shoot it from 35 feet, and he airballs it. And it is going the other way. This will be Denver basketball with 5:35 left to go in the third. So Booker thought he got a piece of it, but he airballed it. Again, Booker has been unbelievable in the series over the last few, but he's got 19 on 5 of 13. So much more manageable on that side. And Denver wants to move this the other way, but I think Phoenix might want to challenge a play that was last touched by Booker. We're going to take a commercial break. I will be right back myself. I'll check your questions very quickly if there is one.
It's called Marks.
So Doug West says go Dallas, and then he says Mariners proven. I'm not sure where the Mariners side of that, but let me know what you think about on that end so I can get your context.
Mark Truth. Truth Socks by yours truly. No. At State Farm, we're there for your what ifs. Get a quote today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Begin with a need. No. Begin with a want. Then craft every detail from there. All electric for short trips. Combustion and electric for longer journeys. Versatility. Performance and efficiency without compromise.
I'll be right back.
Does it make sense that these New skeletons are more jazzy than scary? No, but neither does Popeye's ghost pepper wings that are more flavor than fun. Both are scary good. We don't make sense. We make chicken. Love that chicken from Popeyes.
When the world inspires what's next, you're with Alex. The Gourdies have returned in the #1 movie in the galaxy.
No matter what happens, we're together.
This is a butter cookie. Wrapped around Haagen-Dazs. This is love drink. Enjoy here. Or wherever you are. Butter cookie wrapped Haagen-Dazs.
When did you start to notice Thomas jumping backwards? Because we made it. We're a top-secret organisation dedicated to preventing mass extinction events.
The world ended.
Next week, I'm going to make it work. Nothing I do is easy, but it is always worth it.
What doesn't kill you makes it.
How are you doing with this? He saw me question himself. I can no longer show any signs of weakness. These are real roadblocks. This stuff done. Hit this movie.
You're not questioning your lawyer, and you're not questioning your doctor.
I think you're okay.
Don't question your designer.
Movie City Rehab. Korea's May 23rd at 9 on HGTV.
Here in Denver, a successful challenge by Monty Williams. This was a pretty clear-cut call. You see it clearly go off the right foot of Jamal Murray. So the basketball back to Phoenix with 14 on the shot clock. We always want to ask the question, you want to save those challenges for late in the game, especially in the playoffs with a critical juncture here where they're trying to get some offense going.
Right now, down 16. It is a critical juncture, so every possession is important for Phoenix. Try to make that offense. They've struggled mightily here in this third quarter.
Okay. Just as I come back from the break, we're going to switch to the hockey game in a second. But Jokic, 23 points, 9 to 16, 8 rebounds. He just picked up an out-of-control pass and finished it as Aiden gets doubled up in the paint. Sent back out for Okogie. Booker now to the right wing side. He'll step into a mid-range from about 6 feet. And he'll miss it. Aaron Gordon will sky for the rebound. Aaron Gordon with an outlet pass. Here's Jokic. Beat everybody down the floor. And he lays it in over Aiden. And it's a 20-point lead for Denver. So no matter what games you cover today, these have been out of hand all the way across the board. So can't catch a close game today in any of these playoff games, that's for sure. We'll flip back into our hockey contest as we'll cover the third period. I don't think we're going to get overtime tonight on that side. It'll be just like game 2, where this has been a completely one-sided contest. Let me know what you think about Vegas tomorrow and the Florida Panthers tomorrow. Do you think both of them get wins?
Very capable. Every game is on a sheet of ice. Metaphorically and literally. Okay. Yes. You've been watching and discover. Second intermission report.
You're looking pleased with yourself.
Not to brag, but I just switched to Verizon.
So you got an awesome network.
And when I switched, I got to choose the phone I wanted for free. Not bragging.
You're bragging.
Oh, he's bragging. Who me? Never. Oh, excuse me. Hello, Your Royal Highness, sir.
Okay, that's a brag.
Hey, Mom, I gotta call you back. Visit your Verizon store during our spring savings event and choose the phone you want, like the incredible iPhone 14 on us. Verizon.
Just getting toward the end of the intermission of the third, just double checking a couple things before we give you the play-by-play side of it. Again, it's a 5-1 lead for Dallas. It's been all Stars right now. I appreciate you guys bouncing in and out of the stream today. Again, my apologies that I haven't been able to give you as much of a schedule as I'd like. I've been busy throughout all the stuff, and I'm waiting for the weekend side for the Waterford Sharks and the Michigan Independence Hockey League. We're calling some finals games on that side between the Muskegon Voyagers and the Sharks. We'll give you the links on there when we get to it. But, yeah, it's been a lot of fun to be joined by them this year, be able to cover some of those games. And I know that's cut into some of the times we can do some new streams, but you got to take what you can get on that. So if you get a chance to work with the team, I'm going to take it and get a little bit of practice on that end, which has been a lot of fun to do so. So I think Thursday will be my next stream side. We'll figure out what games those are going to be. And then Saturday I'll be away between Saturday and Sunday covering games 1 and 2 for the Sharks. Sunday, Mother's Day, so I'll have to make that up on that side. And then after that, next week should be a regular scheduled program. We'll get the schedule out there, reconnect with Cooper Hopkins next week, and get things rolling again. So I'll throw this out there again. Well, there's a lot of votes here today. I said the Stars even the series 2-2 after tonight. A lot of smart fans out there. 20%, 65% of the 20 votes say yes. 35% say no. I had a feeling that might go this way. It's going to be one of the punch, counter, punch type of series. I feel like I wrote that a lot in some of these articles and covering this series, but that's how it's been. This has a feeling that this is at least going to go 6, if not 7, doesn't it, the way these teams play against each other?
Red Sox celebrate this Mother's Day on Sunday Night Baseball. That is playoff hockey. All rights to this broadcast are reserved, and any rebroadcast, recording, retransmission, or use of this broadcast without express written consent of the National Hockey League.
So the only thing left right now, folks, is you tell me how much Dallas wins by. That's what it feels like right now. Is it's 5-1. You give me the final goal differential. Again, if you're Seattle and you're in your second season and you're already in the playoffs in the second round and you got the split in between the home and the road, you definitely take that. It's been the back and forth type of series. If you're Dallas, I think you take that as well. What's going on, Junior? How are you doing, my friend? But this third period should do a little bit, at least if you're Seattle, to go ahead and get a little bit of pushback on that side, because I feel like you have to have it, carry over something to feel good about before you go back to American Airlines, because Dallas has an opportunity to not only, and they're in the driver's seat right now, tie this 2-2 as we're getting ready for the third period, but go back home and take a 3-2 series lead. So if you're Seattle, you introduced Jared McCann today, which again was a 40-goal scorer that hasn't played since about 2 weeks since the Kel McCarr hit. And you got to try to find something to punch back into, because you can't just let it end. So back into the official play-by-play now. It's Ryan Suter. This gets taken away. Roope Hintz will fire one way wide. This goes all the way out the window. And Bjorkstrand will try to locate it as this goes in the player's bench. Now we get an immediate stoppage with 19:37. So Martin Jones. Again, I'm 2 for 2 on the goalie call fours. It doesn't really, I know it doesn't matter that much, but Martin Jones is going to spell Philip Grubauer. And I felt like it was going to happen because it was 5-1. It happened the other day with Jake Ottinger, so it can definitely happen with Martin Jones. So Martin Jones' playoff number is pretty good on that side. We know it's 32-27, but his goals against is 237. So he'll get a chance to spell some time here for Philip Grubauer, and I think it's all important right now for Seattle. Even if you're not winning this game, see how Martin Jones does, because then you can at least go to the point where you have a 2-goalie tandem that you can run. So Jamie Benn sends across for Colin Miller. That is a big bomb. And now flip back around for Evgeny Dadonov. And now Miller will pick it up near the right side of the red line as Seattle will locate it. This will be spun around a couple times for Carson Soucy before it goes back to Adam Larsson. And now Larsson flip this one back. Here for Jamie Alexiak. We'll go now to Larsson as this goes in across the red line and flipped in. Dallas will locate this and ship this out of the defensive zone. Here's a outstretched pass for Robo, but he gets canceled off the left side of the wall. Still trying to locate it off a couple of stick battles. Domi's driving in front of the net. Domi's right there, and Martin Jones cancels it right off on the right side of the crease. So that's a good save for a goaltender that's just entering cold. Matty Beniers will chip and chase this thing. He's just trying to get out of his own end. Good hit the other way by Seattle as they're trying to get something going. That was Ty Cartier that third on the body. So he's certainly not giving up on this game, and that's what you want to see. You want to see some of your youngsters alongside Beniers and Cartier. Let them know that this game can't end. I think that's a good analysis of that side. That's what you got to do. And now this will be just brushed aside from Jimmy Alexiak as this gets recollected now for Tanev. And now Will Borgen picks it up. We'll take this to the defensive partner, Jimmy Alexiak, as this is across the tentacle last. Will Borgen will pick this off the spin around and sent back in deep. With 17:50 left to go in this third. John out here with you on the play-by-play. Thank you guys for jumping in and out in between the stream. It's been a lot of fun to see so many people jump in and out. As this is picked up by Heiskanen now. Heiskanen now off the save from Ottinger. Hill will collect and dump this in off the backhand across the red line. Shots now read 23-11 for Dallas, but it's a 5-1 scoreline. Borgen has it now, and he'll stay patient here. For Larsson. Larsson now will let the forwards take a change as a stick fall out of the hand of Eberle. And this is wrapped back in around Ty Cartier as it takes a look. They've also mixed in Yanni Gourde as well. Oliver Bjorkstrand, this gets away from him, but Gourde tries to locate it. Can't hold it in across the blue line. At least I didn't think they did, but it's Oliver Bjorkstrand. They say this is still onside near the left side of the red line as the sticks continue to fall out of the hands. Goes back around the window here for Larsson. Settle it down into the traffic. Jake Ottinger makes a big save. And the left side of the post. And he made another save. Somehow, that one went off the left side of his pads. And now Larsson walking in the high slot. There's all kinds of bodies trying to impede Ottinger's vision. Spinning. And the high slot is Seattle. Yanni Gourde for Bjorkstrand. Good save in front. Scores! Good setup. Ottinger made a couple of saves, but he couldn't do it all. And Seattle gets on the board. So forget about the delayed penalty. Seattle's going to take the goal. It's 5-2 with 16:36 in the third. And Oliver Bjorkstrand makes it a 5-2 game. So Bjorkstrand has this in around the net. Center this right out in front. Bjorkstrand going to get a primary assist. I will say that. I believe this might be Jaden Schultz. This is Jaden Schultz. It's the second from Bjorkstrand, the primary there. So it's 5-2 now. So Schultz gets the second of the game. And this will be his 31st career playoff goal. Again, his second of the night. This gets flipped on the players' bench. 16:30. It was a 6-on-5 goal off the delayed penalty. Again, that's something I will note, but it will not be a power play because Seattle had scored. So we're going to get back to even strength. So Ottinger's given up 2. Again, he stopped 11 out of 13. He's not been particularly sharp, but his team has been very, very good on that side. And now Seattle has enough time in this game to at least maybe get another, but they got to do something, I would think, within the next 5 minutes. That is the checkmark box. Because when you're down 3 and you have 16-15 left, you got to get something relatively quickly. Morgan Geekie try to put this out in front, and now get into Donoff. Pass this back here for Martin Jones. Jones now will play this off the window, but this will end up going back in behind the office of Jones, and the defense will pick it up with it. Casual back pass. The forwards can take the change. Here's the outlet. Geekie from Schultz. We'll get it here for Wenberg. Wenberg now near the right side of the wall. Alex Wenberg will spin. Set up. Here comes the bomb. This gets deflected from Will Borgen chance. Picked up now by Dallas. Jared McCann out there. He gets the steal. He tried to wrap it out in front, but he got bodied up and swallowed away from 3 Dallas Stars as Tyler Seguin was throwing the body. This is recollected now by Seattle across that tentacle ass. All kinds of sticks and blades, but this will fall back to Seattle. Here's a long outstretched pass here for Jordan Eberle. And Eberle had his attempt flipped back out of the zone next to me. He's been very noticeable for Dallas in a very large way. This is sent in for Seattle. They're going to try to take this one left to right there in the home navies. That's what I got now with the Matty Beniers. This is Red Wings fan giving you that side, but you got to do it for the Michigan man. This is sent in there. Robertson got denied again. This time Martin Jones. But again, that was a walk-in and a good shot. That had all kind of sauce on it. As Joe Pavelski was thinking about some extracurricular, I don't think anything is going to happen out of that. Martin Jones, since jumping in, has made 2 quick saves. Robertson right into the left side of the circle, walked in full flight. He tried to lift it, and that was right in the catching glove of Martin Jones. So good save there. Good work by Robertson. He's had a much more noticeable game 4, and he's looked good in this contest as Grubauer's got the baseball cap on now. Phil Grubauer has made 22 saves, but he's given up 5 as it's picked up now. Away from Jones and now sent in by Mason Marchment off the backhand. Dunn trying to get this out, but this will be with Dallas. Try to play this in between the legs as Roope Hintz. We'll send this across the blue line side, but this will get back to the neutral zone for Thomas Harley and Joel Hanley. And now Pavelski between the legs. We'll get this here for Hintz. Spinning around is Robertson. He's going to try to throw this into an open area. 14:35 left to go in this third. John, I'm here with you. Solo call tonight. This is Game 4 of the Western Conference semifinals, second round. Oliver Bjorkstrand will pick it up. We'll try to shoot this off the backside of Jake Ottinger. This will bounce out in front, but be picked up by Evgeny Dadonov in full flight off the windmill, and this gets turned over. Now jump stop here. Off the back pass is Yanni Gourde. And Yanni Gourde, Bjorkstrand lost it. Gourde will find it. We'll just sweep it into an open area near the left side of the glass. As it's recollected, Hanley will find it. And now Miro Heiskanen, as Seattle looks to finish yet another hit. Here's an outstretched pass. This will go too far. and Seattle will touch with the hybrid icing. 13:57 left to go in the third, and I think we're going to get a side-by-side, no commercial break, as they're showing Tanev, but it's going to be an offensive zone draw upcoming here for Seattle. And right now, with 13:57 left, with the scoreline 5-2, Seattle's probably got to get a goal here within the next minute 57 if they want to continue that checkmark box and keep things going. As this one goes back around off of the defensive zone faceoff win, and Harley will flip this one down. Will this be ice again? Yes, it will. Schultz will get there. 13:48. Seattle, again, they always say this, they don't go away. And now Dallas is going to have some tired bodies on the ice with a second consecutive icing with just 15 seconds apart. And this is an opportunity to win a draw, which, again, Seattle will be much better at in this game, but not very good at it as a whole. They're 31 out of 32 as they lose another. This is off the tie-up, and this will go back to Evgeny Dadonov now. Dadonov now trying to race right to left. They got the victory green shoulder pads with the mix of the white shirt and the green striping on the road. And the Seattle Kraken are in the home navy. As this is sent back around Borkstrand. And now Susie from Schultz. They try to work their way into the defensive end and get in the offensive end. Wenberg, it's hit by Seguin. Picks it up now off the forehand. Wenberg now patient on the right side down, high slot. There's an extra pass off the outside of the bar. It stays out. Seattle was so close to making it 5-3, but it went off the outside of the left bar. Seattle down as it just hit iron. Dallas trying to get this up. They chip it nicely off the glass as it's Carson Soucy. Settle it back down for Jimmy Alexiak for Wenberg. Goes just offside of the outside of the bar as they showed a camera shot for Jake Ottinger in the supreme close-up. 12:45 left to go in this third as it's sent in, but it's not iced. Seattle trying to get in off this forecheck. They came so close to making it a 2-goal game. Nice backhanded pass by Seguin. It's going to get a chance for Mason Marchment in off the boards, and Martin Jones will find it. Couple extra stick chops and a late stick the other way from Dallas. It absolutely got a piece, I believe, of Morgan Geekie. Yeah, it did. It was Morgan Geekie the other way. He got punched right in the face, and then did he get a stick up high? I think he did. But this one went off the left side of the post, and then as Ottinger was trying to locate it and spin, he bounced it off the post again. And we go to commercial break. Let me just type in this latest goal, and then we will check back in the comments section. Once this game is done, hopelesssportsguy.wordpress.com per usual will be the site of the game story and the play-by-play. Just a solo calling for tonight. John Ott is my name. I am with you here tonight, and I think next week we'll probably catch up with Cooper Hopkins on that side.
Good morning. I'm Peter Davidson. Not Pete, because before 11 a.m., I like to keep it toned down and simple, just like Taco Bell breakfast, with comfy eggs, sausage, melted cheese, and a crispy hash brown and grilled tortilla. Nothing too wild, just like me. Peter Davidson. Isn't that right, co-host Rhonda?
Co-host?
You're on Breakfast with Peter. You're my co-host.
Are we on TV right now?
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
The world inspires what's next with ads.
Oh, there's some life in Seattle's game here. Let's look here. So this hit by Ty Cartier on Joel Hanley. A real good body check. And anytime anybody lays a hit like that, it can get the bench jumping. The Seattle Kraken after that spent some time in the offensive zone, and on the late penalty, Schwartz able to bury his second of the hockey game. But the youngster Cartier moved his part to bring some energy to the Kraken lineup, and in the third period, they've got a little bit of life with 12:31 to go.
Almost like Dave Hakstol told his team, even if we make mistakes, it's okay. Just do 100 miles an hour. And come out with that effort. And that
So get back into the play-by-play right now. Just pull this back up. As this is recollected by Seattle on their own end. They almost made it 5-3, about a double post. As Jake Ottinger almost fell back into it, the second opportunity, and put it in. This is off the outside of the cage again. Jared McCann makes his return to the lineup about 2 weeks, as this is sent back around now for Adam Larsson. Larsson now, as he's pinched in, McCann trying to get around Miro Heiskanen. As Heiskanen still back in the lineup now after taking a puck to the face. This is centered across the blue paint. Jordan Eberle just missed it. Now Eberle now will try to get around Jason Robertson. It's Jared McCann. Keeps it alive off the backhand. I'll get this back D to D. It gets cycled around for Larsson. This is in between some skate blades for Eberle. Eberle now. He gets hit, and the play is blown dead with 11:41 left to go in the third. And we will see if there's going to be a penalty against Seattle or Dallas. Ryan Suter thinks he got hit in the face. And we're going to see what this call is going to be. He keeps checking on the left side of his eye. And this is going to go against Jared McCann. So Jared McCann hasn't had a bad game since he just came back in, but he's going to get called for a cross-check, I believe, because he got something up high in Ryan Suter. More of a high stick, but they're going to call a cross-check nonetheless. And it will go against Seattle. So, John, out here with you, this is Game 4. Again, when I covered Game 2 on the solo side, it was a lot like this as far as Dallas being able to have that was a little bit of a sell there for Suter, to be honest with you. Unless Beniers got a piece of it. They might have the wrong person in the box. That's going to be Matty Beniers, not anyone else. But they got Ryan Suter going into the box now, too. And I think one is a sell job for either Suter and one's a slash for McCann for something else. A little bit confusing there, I'm going to be honest with you. 11:41 left to go in the third. It's going to be a 4-on-4 for about 2 minutes, and we'll see who this is going to favor. The shooting attempts are 24-14 as far as the shots on goal, but the shot attempts are way up and above for Dallas. Unofficially now, you got to think it's going to be somewhere around 60 to 35, 40 that way. Dallas has been on the front foot of this game the whole way. So Alex Wenberg trying to win this one, and this will be picked up by Dallas. It'll fall back to Jake Ottinger, and he'll have to retake this draw of the Dallas Stars. They'll do it again with the crew of Jimmy Benn on the ice. It's going to be Jimmy Benn usually, or they can mix it in there with Evgeny Dadonov if they absolutely have to, or Max Domi. But they're going to go Luke Glendening. So Luke Glendening now. This will be picked back up quickly by Dallas. Again, they have no problems with these draws. When you mix in between Benn, Pavelski, Glendening, and Seguin, as this shot gets deflected up high off the window. I'm recollected now. Jimmy Benn just trying to throw a couple sticks out there. As finds Vince Dunn. He's got to stay out of the penalty box. Already has a couple. As this is played in off the window for Wenberg now. This will be spun back around for Justin Schultz as he got hit hard. This gets centered out in front, but it'll be picked up by the stick of Ottinger as he brushed it aside. And now Schultz will get this one. This will go to the D. Sent back around for Yanni Gourde. And now driving will be Schultz. He'll get this in the high slot. This gets a slow deflection, and this will fall right to Lindell as the sticks continue to fly. 1:05 left to go on this 4-on-4. About 10:45 left to go on the third. John, they're with it for this Game 4. We're at Clint Pledge Arena. This one's on ESPN and ESPN Plus only tonight. I'm glad you guys could join me, and I thank you for listening on this between Twitter Spaces and YouTube side of John Ryan Out. As this is picked up here for Larsson. We're getting dangerously close to halfway through the third period. It's been all Dallas pretty much the whole way. There's Oliver Bjorkstrand. He'll race in. He'll get it cleared on the left side of the window. The chip and chase is going to actually work to himself as he beats 3 Stars with the puck. Pick it up now to the right side of the boards. Yanni Gourde. Bjorkstrand. Great setup. Good save by Jake Ottinger as he absolutely denied Carson Soucy. That could have been a 5-3 game. That was right and tight. And this is recollected now for Max Domi, but the pass is too far. And we've hit the halfway marker of the third. Larsson will backhand this. He'll let his forwards change. 4-4 is still for 10 more seconds. It's Jordan Eberle now. And near the right side of the boards. We'll just spin this around. Jake Ottinger will take a look as it'll slowly bounce to him. We'll leave it for Roope Hintz. Roope Hintz, no stranger to the 200-foot game. It's intercepted by Will Borgen. And now Roope Hintz able to try to get around Alexiak. Roope Hintz forced to steal, and they're going to need Seattle to come back. Roope Hintz is excellent at forcing steals and scoring goals. Very underrated for the Dallas Stars. He was amazing in the first round with 15 points. As Eberle gets knocked down. And now Robertson trying to keep this alive off the backhand. And this is offsides against the Stars. And will we get anything else more than that? No, we'll get offsides. We get a commercial. So we got 9:12 left to go here in this third period. It's still 5-2 Dallas.
As an actor, it's my job to make people believe what they're seeing is real. Wow! That's fantastic!
So we'll just take a look here. Still 20 votes. I say to the Stars, even the series 2-2 after tonight, this is still 65% to 35%. 65% say yes. Again, I appreciate the follows and the likes and everything else tonight. I know it's just me with the ugly face cam trying to give you the play-by-play, but if I could show anything on the YouTube side, I would definitely do that. It's just not allowed on that end. Otherwise, we would have a lot of fun with it, and I'd still give you the play-by-play. But appreciate you guys jumping in and out. It's been very active, very busy tonight. As far as the rest of the scores, again, they've been all blowouts. When you talk about the 6-1 victory for Carolina over New Jersey, that was the only other hockey game. The NBA side, it was 115-103 Philadelphia over Boston, and Denver all over Phoenix 104-80 on that side. So all of these games have been absolute blowouts tonight, and we can't get a close game. So my apologies on that end. Sometimes that's just the way it goes. I think I will be back for the Thursday side. And I'm going to flip back into the NHL scoreboard just very quickly just to see what Thursday will bring. Thursday is Devils Hurricanes. It's a 3-1 lead for Carolina. And I think that's going to be a 2-2 tie going back to American Airlines 9:30 on TNT. Maybe I'll even ask Cooper Hopkins if he wants to work Thursday's side. Now, it wouldn't hurt to ask if he wants to do that. We'll try to see who'll take a 3-2 series lead the way that this one's going. So taking a look at the Space Needle, that's what they're showing right now at Climate Pledge Arena outside Seattle. It's Wyatt Johnston against Alex Winberg. Again, John Underwood did the solo column. Those game 2 and game 4. All the other ones have been joined by Cooper Hopkins. There's certainly been some highs and lows. And the solo games right now are in favor of the Dallas Stars. So anytime I broadcast solo, it kind of seems like a Dallas Stars victory, the way this is going. So if you're a Stars fan, you might want to root for more solo broadcasts if you believe in the superstitions. Is Vince Dunn. We'll get this back around. And Seattle just running out of time here. It's 5-2. They got 8:55 over the third. Larsson. Here comes a long slap shot, and it's saved by Ottinger. Well, brush head aside right with the glove hand. And this is flipped across the sidewall. But this will go off the stick of Benn. Seattle might want a delay of game over the glass, and they're actually going to get one. The Seattle Kraken get a delay of game over the glass. It's Jamie Benn, the captaincy. He's going to sit down for at least 2 minutes. Jamie Benn doesn't deflect this off of anybody, and this just flips into the crowd. So Seattle has the door opening just slightly. A 2-minute delay game as Peter DeBoer looks on. Again, his team's up by 3. There's not really danger at this point. But still, Jamie Benn being off the ice, it's not good for Dallas as this is sent back around. This will be kept in. No, it won't. Eberle. He must have lost his stick or he just couldn't hold it in. This will fall back to Justin Schultz. Martin Jones hasn't been tested a whole hell of a lot since entering the third period. But he's been good. He hasn't conceded anything. And it's a good rest here for Philip Grubauer before they go back to American Airlines. We're interested to see what that development will be. The Shorts will send this back around here for Dallas during McCann. We'll try to get to it there with Jaden Shorts. And across the left side of the red line, this will be collected into the high side of the left blue line. And now Jaden Shorts tried to center it out in front for Eberle, but nobody was home. Schultz recollect now here for Jared McCann. McCann, as he's just playing for the first time in 2 weeks, this is recollected. Shorts gets the steal. This is now for Schultz. Now Winberg. Schultz lets it go. Big save for Jake Odger. Stick goes flying. Jared McCann walking and shoot. Trying to get centered across the blue paint with a diving stick drag just to get this here near the blue side. But this is knocked away by the Dallas Stars. And now Seattle has 45 seconds which to work with on their power play. It's their second. Dunn We'll flip it back here to number 10, Matty Beniers. It's the jersey that I got now. Matty Beniers in full flight, dropping it for Gourde. Gourde from the right side of the wall as Seattle keeps us alive. For Vince Dunn, early Tolvanen now. For Vince Dunn, Tolvanen patient on the right side dot. It's Matty in the high slot as this goes back to Dunn. Dunn will passes across for Gourde. Vince Dunn now. Here's a fake slap for Tolvanen into the traffic, and this one gets blocked up and out of play. And we get a stoppage with 7:12 left to go in the third. Seattle's power play still at 19 seconds. Seattle of note. Again, Dallas, I wouldn't say in the full defensive shell, but you know you have the 3-goal lead. You feel good there. As Seattle's chances now continue to climb, Dallas is still ahead in the shots on goal 24-17. Seattle had almost nothing within most of this game in the first two periods. Roddick Fox are going to try to win a defensive zone draw here for the Stars. And the spinning puck, this will go in between the legs of one of the Seattle players, Eberle Tolvanen, and now recollected it along the right side wall. Yanni Gourde will send this back here for Tolvanen now. Big hit the other way. Matty Beniers goes flying. And now Bjorkstrand will try to get to it. This can't be held in. So Seattle's power play, they had a couple chances, but it's all for naught. They don't score. Vince Dunn will get the pass here from Martin Jones, and they'll look to start again as the forwards get a wholesale line change. Vince Dunn very patient as they are getting an extreme close-up. As Let's Go Kraken chants have been very muted here at Climate Pledge Arena, but I know the fans are still excited. It's a second-round playoff for the second season in the franchise history as this goes off the stick shaft of Jake Ottinger from a turbo pass, and this is picked up here by Seattle. They'll send it back down for Larsson as this goes off the window, but it gets intercepted, but Dallas just able to touch in and delayed offsides as this gets recollected now by Larsson. We're down to 6 minutes left to go here in this third. This is stolen. Robertson tries to locate, trying the other side. Carson Soucy. The pass is too strong as the puck will flip in across the tentacle S. It gets knocked away from Pavelski. Pavelski does have a goal in this game. Morgan Geekie trying to toe drag his way through as Dallas eludes a hit there. Does Roope Hintz. Now pick it back up as Roope. Roope off the backhand. Working his way on his forehand now. Power move. This goes off the outside of the cage, just above. And Roope Hintz gets sandblasted the other way. No penalty called as he picks up his stick. And now Seattle will get this into the neutral zone near the right side wall. Gets canceled off by Ryan Suter. But in off the stick lift, this will be found by Seattle in the defensive zone. 5:20 left to go in the third. Wenberg now has it near the right side of the wall as he gets hit hard by Suter. Seattle will spin off of this. And now Wenberg. There's a cross pass off the outside of the cage. And this is partially stopped by Ottinger as the goal light was flashing across, but that definitely didn't cross. And now a race for the puck. It'll be Max Stoney. He'll be the first to get to it before he absolutely wipes out and eats it. Now Jared McCann slowly trying to get this one to Carson Soucy. It's in the offensive end. Good blocker save by Jake Ottinger as that one was loud. Spun back around for Soucy now. Now with Larsson. Adam Larsson here for Carson Soucy. Soucy flips this back around, trying to get around Roddick Fox. Seattle will play this in off the backhand with Jordan Eberle. As this is now near the left side of the dot. Eberle lost it. 4.5 minutes left to go here in this third. John here with you. We're going to close out this game for Dallas. Looks to take a 2-2 series tie back to American Airlines Center. As is recollected for Ty Cartier. Centered out dangerously. High slot. Here comes the pass. Matty Beniers has to settle it down. It was a little too far. Slap shot scores! Seattle is within 2. 4:11 left. And it's Adam Larsson with a 92-mile-an-hour bullet. And Seattle gets closer. And Peter DeBoer looks down at his lineup card just to see what's happening. He's looking down at the score clock as well. But Matty Beniers was patient. He didn't have anything there. Larsson with an absolute rocket. And I don't know if that got deflected by Yanni Gourde. No, that did not. But Cartier was right there on the doorstep. Does Cartier get a piece of Ottinger? No, that's a clean goal. And Seattle, within 2, they're trying to make a late press. Dave Hakstol is on these guys. Hey, it's within 2. We're close. You make that press. You figure out what's going to happen right now. You never know. They've got some time. Again, beggars can't be choosers, but Seattle probably would have liked to have instead of the 4-11 mark, maybe the 7-11 mark. And again, not like the convenience store, but on that side, you want to get a little closer, but it's 5-3. The shots by period are now 9-2 in favor of Seattle. So Dallas has to make sure they absolutely hold this. They can't concede anymore. It's 5-3. You don't want to make it any closer than that. Bjorkstrand, flip this on the left side of the window. Bjorkstrand now can't find it, as this will be picked up to the neutral zone. It's Robertson, and Robertson, as Seattle has let Martin Jones vacate the goal crease. It's 3:35 left to go in the third. So empty net. It's a 6-on-5. Flip down. It's a little far, but this allows Jordan Eberle to find it. So no Martin Jones. And Martin Jones replaced Philip Grubauer in the third period. He didn't give up a single goal. He didn't face a lot. Ottinger send this around the window. And this is sent all the way down the ice, where this is a hybrid icing against the Dallas Stars. So that is good work for Seattle. They got the net pull, but now here's the question. If you lose the draw like it normally is, can Dallas send this 200 feet and make something happen? Man, the backhanded opportunity, I thought got a piece of Martin Jones, but it was lifted so well. It just kissed off the left of his jersey at the top of the crossbar. And then Larsson the other way scored a slap shot goal and made it 5-3. So Seattle trying to get back into this. 3:14 left to go in the third. John, I'm here with you. Looking to close this out. All of a sudden, this game's got a lot more interesting. 17 players with a goal, most of any team in this postseason. That is absolutely ridiculous. But as we said, they can roll out all 4 offensive lines, all 3 defensive lines, and make anything happen. So I believe Dave Hakstol is the one that's going to call the timeout. 3:14 left to go in the third. And the only other question, again, this doesn't sound like this should be a question, but Phil Grubauer had a rough night tonight. Martin Jones came in and did well. He didn't give up anything. Does Martin Jones start game 5? Phil Grubauer has been so solid all the way through. You'd probably say no, but at least if you're Seattle with Martin Jones in this abbreviated spell in his third, again, he's not going to give up a single goal, I wouldn't think. Anything will be empty net if it's Dallas. But at least you know you have a 2-goal tandem that you can feel good about because you're actually playing Martin Jones. The sighting is alive and well. So fans are standing and waving their towels. They feel the momentum here. It's Jaden Schultz. He was going to take the draw, but this will go back now here. I believe it is Schultz. He will take it now. They moved it around in between the Schultz and Schwartz. So Seattle will win, but they can't hold, and this will go back into the neutral zone. They're going to start again. So 3:05, McCann will slap shot this in. Bjorkstrand will take a look. This is a friendly bounce in between the slot, and now Seattle has puck possession near the right side of the red line. Bjorkstrand, as it's down to 3 minutes. Seattle with it. They're down 2 goals. Here comes the pass for Eberle, looking for the deflection, and this goes off the left side of the wall. Seattle trying to make something happen, and it's a race for the puck. And will this be found by Dallas? Centered out. Oh, it was centered across the crease, but it just eluded Dallas. So Seattle's still only down 2. They have life. Cartier plays this in out the window with the help of Gourde. Into the blue paint now. Seattle trying to rush the net. Now this is a race for the puck. Dallas going to get to it. And let's ice it. It's Max Domi with his 3rd point of the game, his 2nd goal. And Dallas will get a 2-2 series tie. Headed back to American Airlines Center. Boy, has Max Domi been good. Martin Jones will have to go back into the goal crease. But Dallas makes this a 6-3 game. Seattle came pretty close. Everybody stormed the net. And when they didn't get the puck, it landed the other way for Max Domi to be able to race him. He was by himself. He just chipped it ahead and finished it off. So they had to go for it, did Seattle, and they made a hell of a run at it. But Dallas is going to take this one. 2:21 left to go in the third. Fans are starting to make their way to the exits. And we did see a couple of cowboy hats here for the Dallas Stars. They're going to feel pretty good. Max Domi with the 6th career playoff goal, 2nd of the night. 2:05 left to go in this third. As it's recollected now for Radek Faksa, the 3rd multi-point game of this postseason for Max Domi. So they were talking about a little bit of a slow start there on the other side. What about all the other Dallas Stars that are contributing? And Robertson also got on the score sheet again this game. The play was blown dead. There was a couple pushing and shoving, trying to pry the puck loose, but the Zebras can definitely decide to blow the play dead if it doesn't move enough. So Max Domi with his second of the game, his third point. Dallas gets it to a 6-3 contest, and this will set up a 2-2 series tie going into Thursday night. Again, it'll be the late game, normally around 9:45 Eastern is the puck drop. That might be my next assignment. His fifth team since 2020, Montreal, Columbus, Carolina, and now Dallas on that side with Montreal again. As this is sent back around. Recollected now for Seattle. Ty Cartier has it. So he'll play this one across and send it back down for Seattle. Down to 90 seconds left to go in this game 4. But Dallas has certainly gotten the answer that they've won. They're going to have a 2-2 series tie headed back to Dallas. And it will become all of a sudden a best of 3 on that side. So I figured this series might go at least 6. We might get the full 7 the way that this is going. It's been a good contest. Seattle definitely found their answer a little bit late, but they did not start on time. And Dallas was on the front foot of this game all night, and they're going to be able to take this one home. What's going to look pretty convincing. I know the score line's within 3, but Dallas was better than that the whole way through. As this is played in off the backhand, now Jamie Alexia will have it. 45 seconds left to go in the third as it's played to Will Borgen. And Seattle only has the time for a couple more rushes, but it's not going to be enough to change any intrigue in this game. It's going to be a 2-2 series tie now for Dallas. Oliver Bjorkstrand. This will go high up and off the window, but it doesn't go out of play as we're down to 30 seconds. Dallas has it now, and they'll safely chip this in across the red line. And we'll have to see what happens again for Seattle. Every time that they've been punched in the mouth, they've answered. Every time Dallas has been punched in the mouth, they've answered. So this is, in turn, if you're keeping score at home, Seattle's turn to answer on Thursday. But we will see the way this series goes. And I might ask Cooper Hopkins if he wants to join me. I know he's going to be busy, but it's a 6-3 final for Dallas. They even this series at 2. And we're going to have to find out what happens next on Thursday. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. It was very busy tonight on the YouTube side and Twitter Spaces. I had a lot of fun with it. I think Thursday will be the next assignment. We'll catch up with you then. Peace. Ben says, thank you. I appreciate that, Ben. I hope that alongside for people that are even just driving home, I know my camera, I got to get better quality and get a podcast microphone on that side, not just the entry here for the radio side, to get a little bit better audio. But hopefully I can just give people a good play-by-play and at least give them something while they're driving along or if they can't follow along in the game. But we'll just give you the quick score reset as people are joining in late. There was a 6-3 final for the Dallas Stars. Dallas opened the scoring. It was just 1 goal. Jimmy Benn on the power play from Roope, Hintz, and Heiskanen. Then it was Thomas Harley, Max Domi, and Joe Pavelski. It was a 4-0 lead for Dallas with goals at the 4:46 mark, 9:25 and 10:50. Jaden Schultz made it a 4-1 game at 11:46 from Justin Schultz and Morgan Geekie. For Roope, Hintz really scored a backbreaker. It was a great steal by Roope. Hintz set up middle of the slot for Benn, finished off by Hintz at 19:07. And then Seattle tried to get back into it. It was Jaden Schwartz with the second, his 5th of the postseason from Bjorkstrand and Dunn. Larsson from Dunn and Matty Beniers with a slap shot to make it 5-3. And Max Domi scored in the empty net. 2 goals and an assist for Domi tonight from Dodonov and Lindell. It was Martin Jones stopping 2 out of 2. He spelled relief for Philip Grubauer, who was pulled after 2 periods. He stopped 17 of 22. Jake Ottinger wasn't very busy tonight, and he was average. He stopped 17 of 20, but that's all he needed because Dallas created the pace of play. We'll see what happens on Thursday, and I'll see you guys then. Peace, everybody.